fourth wall.
How's it going, everybody? It's John Escudero, and I'd like to wish you a very what the fuck is up. This is Dirt Sheet Radio, a pro wrestling newscast, but I'm never alone. As usual, I'm with my boys, and let's introduce them. Nick.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Nick. Guess what? We're doing this podcast live on Planet Namek.
New Namek for the insensitive against the attacks against original Namek by Frieza. But I'd also like
the demonic Namekians, where Piccolo's still a demon.
Well, where were the other ones? They all seem so nice. What's wrong with him?
They all have a bunch of different variations.
What up?
Boys, we have all made it to the dance because believe me, this is the dance.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Oh,
I was supposed to put that as our background, as that's us. That's us three. But we're not alone this week. We are joined by our guest, our boy Mack. Say what up, everybody.
Hello, I'm just in my room. I'm not in the fancy green screen like you fucking technical engineers have.
I don't have a green screen. This is just a white ass blank wall.
You know that your wall is
like
actually
perfect screen.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
a
say your
perfect
wall
screen.
is actually so white that if you use like a background and it just pick the color to get rid of, you'd be fine. You basically have a background. You're all good. But what up, fellas, man? It's Dirt Sheet Radio. We're up late night, middle of the night, as usual. Our weekly ritual. If you know we're here, you know we're here. We can hang out together.
You know.
If you don't, I am sorry. They should have let you know. But
I have a very, very particular topic I'd like to discuss this week.
what's that?
How many of us have seen No Holds Barred?
I haven't seen the movie. I'm
Isn't that
only
just-
aware of it.
It's probably
You haven't,
been
John?
very long.
I haven't.
Oh, John, you have to watch
it's-
No Holds Barred.
It's one of those things that
No
I am
wonder you
aware
didn't get
of.
the joy of Zeus.
But I love Debo.
No,
Christopher Gonzalez says No
thing,
Holds Barred is a
Christopher,
great movie.
My man. What's up, Chris?
Is it though? Is it a great movie, or is it something like it's so
Rip.
bad I gotta check it out? Like,
You gotta check it out.
It's one of those. It's so I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember it. It's one of those like so bad now in hindsight, it's good.
Yep.
It helps to be a wrestling fan.
I am in fact a wrestling fan, so I may enjoy it. You know, I've seen Ready to Rumble like everybody else, I guess, right?
No, see,
I mean, yeah.
like Ready to Rumble is almost like contemporary wrestle film. You need to watch the
Wrestle
terrible old shit. You need to watch Body Slam with Roddy Piper and the Tonka Kid.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
That's a deep cut.
Yes, yes, and the wrestler, not the one with the guy with his face smashed in.
Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
Okay.
I
No,
love
you need
Mickey
to watch the
Rourke.
one with Vern Gagne and Billy Robinson.
What the fuck?
What are you going to tell us? What are you going to tell us?
even know what that is.
We need to go back and watch Ricky Dozan movies. How old are you?
I have
yes.
seen
to
them.
watch
Actually, yes. I'll tell you that. I can tell you that without.
I'm flashing back to so many times that John's been yelling at Greg, like, "How old are you?"
I was just gonna make the joke, but I was like, you know what? Mac is probably just as fucking old. You two fucking 800-year-old bats.
Well, I'm 42, so
You see?
yeah.
402, 388 over here. They were both around for the beginning of cinema. So of course you guys
Slower
saw.
for us Namekians.
Got Jesus' beeper number.
Tom Lamont says thoughts on the idea of Pac versus Osprey at All In. That would be that'd be some high quality shit.
My thoughts on that are in the most easiest path to success. Osprey is the main event at All In,
Yeah,
so I don't know if Pac is the match.
I think
I
you go
kinda see-
Osprey Swerve.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I kind
Ooh,
of see
that's
Osprey
solid.
Swerve as the All In.
for the belt.
main event.
Yeah, for the belt.
You get two moments because you get Swerve, who finally he's been crowned champion, but then walking into an 80,000, 60, 50,000, however many people are gonna be there as champion is like the zenith. Like I did it. Like I can drop the title now if it's been 5 months or 3 months.
If I can just go there, it's better. It's better as the champion in the sense that there's no will they won't they for a guy like Swerve. It's no, he's the black dude. He's walking as the best in this big stadium show.
Yeah, I love it. I think we were talking earlier on
the hometown guy, which might give Swerve the chance to actually get some heat.
He said Pac versus Okada. Then
that's fun.
That's another banger.
That's another high quality match. I'm down for that whenever.
They can even build to that, even near Dynasty or Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I think it's closer. Yeah,
we were talking.
The real question is who will get trapped in. The real question is going into All In. Who will get trapped into
It's okay, Greg.
Typical Greg interrupting everyone.
I'm a guest in your house, Greg. Go ahead.
He wanted to let you know too. That's horrible. What's wrong with you, Greg?
I'm not mad. I was just going to say,
who's the real question?
There you go again. Zero regard. Absolutely.
Right,
I just want to shit on Jericho.
Oh no, shit on Jericho. No, I mean, go ahead, shit on Jericho. But listen, we were talking during the 6-man match, the one on the elite match. Penta got in the match with Okada, and the guy turned to me and goes, "I need 30 minutes of this next week, right fucking now." And I was like, down. "Yeah, Pac, Okada, Pac and Eddie. Jesus, I mean, there was at least 5 or 6 dream matches in there,
Yeah, Okada Pac, Okada Eddie, Okada Penta, fucking Eddie. I would like to see a series of those matches actually, but they're doing
versus everybody.
Yep,
for real.
Versus everybody.
They're doing Okada versus fucking Kingston next week, which is bananas to me. I refuse to believe that's gonna have a full like a clean finish.
For a
when is
moment,
Phoenix back?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question. I miss it.
Yeah.
For a few moments there, I was giving them shit of committing the cardinal sin of having the 2 guys on opposite teams wear the same color, and then my girlfriend.
That's a lot of red.
And then my girlfriend chimes in, just going I don't know who's on whose side. I'm like, God damn it, it got to her.
It got it.
The Bloods.
I think there's a lot of people that just wear black anyway. I don't know if I still recognize any color differences in these companies anymore. Fuck. I wanted to I don't know. I didn't want to take too much time, but I did want to start this week off by saying rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, who died last weekend. And I know it's weird to be like, well, why are you doing that on a wrestling show? Well, this show doesn't exist without him. So if he doesn't fucking create the stories that he creates, I don't get inspired to do the things that I do. I'm not who I am today. So
also, you clearly do not know the show if you do not see how much influence DB has had on pro wrestling.
On pro wrestling, on this show itself, how many fucking times we reference it or bring it up. But the general idea that I am not who I am without that man and his creations. So by way of that, this doesn't exist if he doesn't exist. So that's why I wanted to get that out of the way. You're lucky I didn't make a whole graphic.
Arms up.
He's gonna do a fucking tribute video. We're gonna all have to stand up on stage and.
Were you gonna have that white woman singing that sad song behind the dog?
Yes.
The dog smoking a cigarette.
Sam McGoffin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get depressed now.
Oh, God.
But beyond that, WWE 2K24 came out officially. No more early release for you exclusive Deluxe holding bastards.
Fellas, you know what else came out?
Elitist.
Not early, but you know what else just came out?
What?
Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Got that downloading on Steam right now.
Yes, it did.
Fuck. I want it's coming out for the Switch too, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's coming everywhere. Consoles, Switch, PC.
But I want
coming everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yes, it is. Now I wanted to talk about WWE 2K24 because I did finally get my copy. It is in fact fire. It is, in fact, better than Fight Forever, though.
Oh yeah. I think anything is better than Fight Forever.
I was gonna say that probably wasn't that hard. It's different for sure, but I really like this shit. I enjoyed it for what I played so far. I gotta. The first thing I did was I wanted to see just how violent it got. So at first that looks fucking awesome. Let me try something a little bigger. So I fucking here we go. So I tried this.
All the way to the back doors of the ambulance.
Watch out.
Incredible.
Shot.
It is I love this game. I'm one of the biggest reasons why 10 years ago 2K14 is one of my favorites is because of the weapons physics. Right? I don't know how to really explain that except for the fact that the quality basically dropped since that game and it never really picked back up. And the weapons physics were always like the one thing that I wish they would have taken a second to just touch again. And it seems like I finally got my fucking wish. This is awesome.
This is going to be catastrophic. Just a relentless.
I'm having a great time, fellas, and I haven't even touched the main modes yet. So I wanted to know how you guys will feel. Oh shit! Comparing AEW Fight Forever to 2K24 is like comparing Nia Jax to Asuka, says Tom. God damn. I think Nia Jax is getting better. Don't shoot me. Maybe it's a hot take.
Jax and Asuka actually had a pretty good match in NXT.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago.
I enjoyed Nia Jax's NXT matches.
You'll notice that most of Nia Jax's early good matches had another great wrestler in them. Otherwise, you know. But I think that lately, I think she's getting better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's fucking Bull Nakano. I'm not saying she's Aja Kong now. I'm saying she's she's getting okay. But yeah, giving you guys a chance because I know Mac and Greg, I know you guys play the game more than I do sometimes. I don't think Nick plays as much as these guys, but I want to get you.
I play more of the modded variety of Baldur's Gate 3.
Understandable.
I played it. I mean, I like it, but you know, I don't go too deep with like the showcase mode and everything because I just don't have the patience and I don't have the time. So it's like a combination of both things, you know. So I'll play like the singles matches. I'll play a 4-way match. But what I'm really digging is the Gauntlet Eliminator right now, where you start off with 2 guys, and then another guy comes in 2 minutes later, and you can play all the way up to a 30-man Gauntlet Eliminator until 29 guys either submit or get pinned. And it literally, I watched it last night falling asleep. I think I got through maybe 10 guys of the computer playing, and I woke up and Ciampa was holding the NXT belt up when I woke up this morning. So, you know, I mean, it helps me get to sleep by watching it. So, I mean, like 80% of the time I just watch the computer. I'll be doing something else, you know. I'll be doing like my tech work for, you know, my job, and I'll just have it on in the background. I mean, it's like watching a wrestling show, you know, pretty much.
Yeah. I think that's an understated use for the game. The more realistic it looks, and the more deep it gets into the simulator stuff, the more you can just. Tom Lamon's talking about his time at the WWE Elimination Chamber show. He says he admits Nia Jax was all right. I agree. But,
yeah, I'll watch a Royal Rumble until I fucking fall asleep, dude. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a real understated use for this game. Just put in 2 sims, like just fuck it. Let's see. As the AI gets smarter too, it looks more realistic. They tend to do more things that the wrestlers do on TV.
How many people can be in the ring at once?
During the Royal Rumble, they maybe will bring in like 8 guys, and then they won't send another person out until like one person's eliminated. And once that person goes over the top rope, they start the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's a maximum of 8 guys in the ring.
It's not that much farther from what it used to be. It used to be like 6.
It was only 6, and it was that for the longest time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, now the only thing that sucks is about the eliminator is if you choose anything over an 8-man eliminator, it picks the other people for you. you can't pick all 30 guys. Like you can switch out guys in the Royal Rumble, guys that are like dead and you want it to be like authentic, but you can't switch out the guys. Like I tried last night and I was like, I don't want Karrion Kross in this shit. I don't even want Karrion Kross on my fucking TV on Friday.
Well, I was gonna say you can't hear Pat in the game because then Pat will have to commentate over himself.
Oh man, they announced one of the DLCs because it was a Pat McAfee pack with mystery guests, and then the guests announced for this DLC pack are the other 4 hosts of the Pat McAfee show. Are you
Pat McAfee
fucking
and the rest.
kidding me? I don't even know who these people are. I could literally, they're cause that have more value to me than these paid for random characters that I have no fucking clue about.
So supposedly that was Pat McAfee's demand for getting him in.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, fuck! I don't want Pat McAfee in that
boys.
fucking bad. Actually, I don't actually care.
They
about
wanted Pat McAfee in.
that
He's
much.
like, I won't go with
They should have put him on commentary. Lazy motherfucker will stand there to get scanned, but he won't do the 80 hours of sitting in a booth to record 1,000 lines.
Yeah,
he would, but he wanted the boys to join him for those.
Earn your keep.
No, because like they had intentions of putting him in last year because his entrance is in the game.
Who, McAfee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
McAfee's
listen.
entrance is in the game, and they have a motion for like a big jumping superplex that was for him.
Oh, the jump up on the top
Where he
rope.
jumps to the top rope, yeah.
Remember the thing with the DLC pack too was the fact that they didn't even announce who it was. They were just like TBD.
Yeah, Pat McAfee.
Hey, you think?
Yeah.
You're thinking it's. I was thinking like, oh, maybe they're like wrestling broadcast guests. Like maybe it's other guests who showed up on. I'm like thinking wrestling.
Gorilla Monsoon just ripping people's faces off.
Yeah.
Now I know how the FIFA people felt when the Ted Lasso characters showed up. They're like, what the fuck
you,
is
the only
this?
reason I bought that game.
What the fuck is this? Yeah, strange. I mean, I guess
some
I
people
felt
though that are going like the same thing with you, Greg. Though is they're probably for someone in the world the only reason they're buying the game.
Could you imagine? I
don't want to know that person.
That person's not watching this podcast, by the way.
It's literally just those 4 guys and their family members.
Yeah, they're buying
Hey,
Bitcoin right
little
now.
guy, look, your uncle's in the video game. Yeah, I'm in the video game too, motherfucker. I made myself, and I got to render and everything, and they say my name. Good job. Yeah, you got a paycheck for it. That's the difference. Fuck you.
Until the game before this one, I couldn't even get where I'm from in the game.
That's right. It was a struggle to hear them say from the Bronx, New York. It was either New York, or Yonkers, New York, and then they added Brooklyn and Harlem.
It was New York, or New York City.
Oh, I understand completely. Remember, it's only Chicago and Springfield. That's it.
I'm gonna look it up for you.
That's
I
all
want to see
that
what they have for Illinois.
That's all that is Illinois. Anyway, I never heard of another town there.
Can I just mention something
offhand?
offhand?
They still never announced it.
You might.
Can I just mention something offhand about create a character, guys?
Go
So
for it.
the first ever Tyler Black / Seth Rollins DVD I ever bought was off of High Spots, and it was like all his stuff back in like IWA Mid South and stuff like that.
Okay.
So his first one of his first matches, he comes out and they say from South Boston, Massachusetts, Tyler Black. South Boston's where I'm from. That's a very specific part of Boston. It's just like South Boston. They call it Southie.
Okay.
And I was like, that can't be right. Then he came out for his next match, and it was like from Davenport, Iowa, and it was literally like 2 weeks later at another like IWA. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So last year I downloaded Tyler Black in 2K23, and it said hometown, South Boston, Massachusetts in the game. And I was like, oh, then I'm not the only one that heard that.
I don't know. I didn't hear it this time. My internet fucking dropped. God damn it.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No, I just heard
Not just me.
So basically what I was saying is that the first Tyler Black DVD I ever got, it said he was from South Boston, Massachusetts, which was crazy because I'm from South Boston, Massachusetts, and only a population of maybe like 500,000 people, right? So I was like, no, he's not from South Boston. Then he came out the next time and they were like, from Davenport, Iowa. And I was like, oh, okay. So I downloaded Tyler Black in 2K23, and someone put his hometown as wasn't Southie, but it said Boston, Massachusetts, and I was like, somebody else has that DVD and heard the same fucking thing that I did.
What did you ever find out if that's where he actually grew up or something? Or like,
Nope. He grew up in Davenport, Iowa. I looked it
the
up.
fuck?
Yeah.
I guess it was his gimmick. He was from
It's not
South
because-
Boston.
I guess what must have happened. I'm friends with David Starr, and say what you want about him, But he said that the first time that he ever went to a show, he was like 18, and he was like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Philadelphia." He's like, "Not tonight. You're from Chicago."
It do be that way.
Yeah.
What's your name, kid? I'm
Yeah.
Spider-Man. The human spider.
No, I'm the man spider. It's different.
Tom says if you think it's hard being from the Bronx or South Boston, try being from down under. Understandable.
Wow.
You're just
Yeah.
from Australia. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you get Rhea Ripley's hometown now,
Yeah.
Back.
if you're
Jack.
lucky. So yeah, I've had a fun time with could that be where Seth Rollins' wrestling school is, Black and Brave?
No, it's not.
I think that's also in Idaho, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that DVD from my dad's house and clip that for
John
you guys so you can
immediately
hear it.
took only the second good thing in Iowa away from them.
They ain't got no hoes in Idaho. Get out of here.
Idaho.
Only thing Iowa has is Seth Rollins and Slipknot. You can't take it away.
Whoa! Now they have Caitlin Clark. So
Who is that?
I don't know.
the
I don't know who
basketball
that is.
player, the girl that broke all the
Oh.
NCAA records.
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
they're, like everyone's
Oh,
simping over on social media.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is she like?
She looks like Jim. She everybody's
is that the
simping
girl
over her,
that-
but I don't think she's that good looking. But
No.
Is that the girl that got her? Is that the girl who got finger wagged at?
no.
Oh,
that
I was like, she
the
got
girl
finger
from-
what?
No, that was the
Finger
girl from
wag.
LSU. I
All
don't think
right.
so. No.
I was like, Greg.
All right, let me tell you about the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Nick. I want you. So, Nick, this is for you. You said there was only 2 cities in Illinois.
Usually in the WWE games, there's 2, sometimes 3. And
What was
usually the
it?
third's like a very niche, like Ottawa, Illinois or something.
Chicago and
Rosemont?
Chicago, Springfield, Ottawa.
you now have Chicago, Springfield, Oak Park, Lake Forest, and Aurora.
Why does Aurora get mentioned?
How did Aurora get in there?
How does
Didn't,
Aurora get in there? Not like Algonquin or like Elgin or South Elgin or something like that.
Ring of Honor ran a bunch of Rosemont, Illinois, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
they?
did.
Yeah.
They did.
Where is
you know what?
where
rich
is
wrestling history.
Nick? Where exactly is Chicago Ridge?
I don't know. I remember
That's
that. I
the-
remember that venue.
I own that building, right? It's got the pillar in the
fancies.
back,
Yeah, it's
the
where,
white pillar.
Yeah, it's where they.
That's the fancy
is that
garage.
Joe Punk
Generico had
too?
a. No, but
It-
I have a bunch of Ring
it
of Honor
might be.
DVDs, and they don't. They
It might
none of
be,
them say
right?
Chicago. They all say Chicago Ridge.
Interesting.
Because they can't afford to run in fucking Chicago. Ain't no fucking way.
Chicago Ridge is over by like Oak Lawn and
And for the fellow who said down under, Australia's options are now Adelaide, Black Forest, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Melbourne, and Sydney.
you
Nice.
said Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne,
Melbourne.
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 Well, that's like when Vince McMahon didn't have the money to run the big shows, and they would be in like Albany, New York, and he'd be like live in New York City.
I actually think one of the no Perth. Sorry, Tom.
Valid.
That actually
No,
doesn't
no
make any
Perth, I'm
sense.
sorry,
That's like
bro.
Yeah.
that's like one of the biggest. That's like one of the bigger cities. Like that's one of the ones I know. Like that's fucked up.
It's
I
great
know
because he
that.
just ran Perth.
Melbourne. You've been corrected,
Melbourne.
my friend.
Melbourne.
They just ran Perth, but you can't be from there.
That's not
It's
a
not in the
knife.
game though.
Okay, I understand Aurora now being included because it's the number 2 biggest city we have.
But who's from Aurora
No
that works
one.
there?
Welcome to Geography Dirt Radio.
Somebody who did. That's actually a good name for it.
GDR.
I'm enjoying the game so
Crikey.
far. Since we're
Broken
I don't know if we
still
can. I don't
talking
know if we
about
can
it.
say that. It's not our word.
What?
Oh,
there.
crikey.
Yeah.
no, I am
Right?
deeply
Relax.
apologize.
Hey,
for
relax.
offending.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Relax.
Hey, edit this out.
Whoa.
I know we're live, but
Cut.
let's edit it out.
Yo.
We're live, pal.
Cut.
We're live now.
So,
I've been enjoying the game a lot so far. I'm finally getting into the meat of the My Rise stuff, so that's been fun.
Yeah.
I'm
go
waiting
ahead.
for a friend of mine to finish. I'm waiting for a friend of mine to finish my character so I can do the male one.
You
So I'm
lazy
currently in the
bum.
midst of the female one. No, he's just better at it than me, and he offered to do it.
Is he making a Kevin? I can't believe
He's-
you. You've left
he's
me alone
making-
this year
he's
to
ma-
spend 5 hours by
he's
myself.
He's making the visual point, and I'm doing everything else
The
because he knows
moveset-
how to do the faces.
I actually, as David says, everyone knows Australia doesn't actually exist. It is a make-believe place. It's a
That
British psyop.
Is that why it took so long for the chamber to get there? Because it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
That's how I got lost.
but the
I
pirates on the
know-
way did.
I know
Yeah.
Australia exists because it is the main setting in Attack on Titan. Thank you very much.
Nice.
If Tom Lamont says I want to focus on My Rise this year. I
Go
think
for it, brother.
I think they've done a lot of work with My Rise. Like they put a lot of effort into it. You can tell how proud of My Rise they are. They
Yeah.
locked a bunch of shit in there too. Like, please just check it out. I promise you'll enjoy it.
And my favorite thing is like if you've played multiple years of My Rise, you will see that there is whatever wackiness that gets done in there, it has its own continuity.
That's
The My
right.
Rise the My Rise stories make reference to the ones from the years before.
I think it's
It's quite weird.
kind of like Pokemon Gold where you run into yourself from the last game. Like, oh shit, that's me.
Now you must
Yes, I
face
am.
red.
Tom says we don't drink Foster's and Outback Steakhouse is basura. I can imagine that anything that America has that's themed after another country isn't actually representative of that.
Accurate.
When
Right?
I met a good friend of mine from Australia, I brought up Foster's to him, and he's like, "I have never heard of that crap in my entire life."
Oh shit! You
No,
see
you know
how I
what?
get lied to? You see?
I have a guy I work with that was originally from Australia, and he said the one thing that pissed him off was the Outback Steakhouse commercials because the guy that's doing the Australian accent clearly is not Australian. He's like an onion. And he's like,
Yeah,
He'd be like-
it's such exaggerated
and
Australian.
I'm not going to do the Australian accent, but he would be like, "Oh, that fucker's not Australian."
That's beautiful.
And just for fun, John, it has only 2 Puerto Rico options.
What the hell?
Breaking news.
You can be from San Juan and Vega Baja.
What the fuck is a blooming onion?
None
It's
of this blooming, obviously.
it's a bra. It sounds like
Hey,
a bra type.
Greg,
But-
check and see what you got for Boston for cities for Boston.
Gotcha.
Puerto Rico having 2 towns is probably more than I ever expected because usually it's just like from San Juan,
You
Puerto Rico.
You expected Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
At best.
Puerto Rico and then a comma and then PR.
Ooh, Mac, I'm looking at Chicago Ridge on Pro Wrestling Wiki, and I'm just seeing Ring of Honor, Ring of Honor, Ring of Honor, Ring of Honor, Ring of
Yeah,
Honor.
they
From,
read
like,
that so many freaking times.
4th or 22. I never even thought about that. The little Frontier Field House.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. The one at the top is my favorite, Arkham.
Yeah. Arkham? Really?
Arkham, Massachusetts.
Nobody lives there. It's like cows.
Arkham, Massachusetts.
Most of Illinois.
Boston, New Bedford, Northeastern, Salem,
Okay. Salem.
Tingsboro,
I don't even think that was good.
Tingsboro.
Salem and their witch trials.
West Newbury,
Okay, that's John Cena. Okay.
Worcester.
All right, Worcester's big, but Tingsboro? There's like
Tingsboro.
dude. There's
Tingsboro.
the only thing that lives in Tingsboro is like a stray cat that wanders the streets. That's it.
Hey, stray cats need representation too, dog. Come on.
Oh, man.
That's where we got Celeste.
Come on.
Shout out to-
Tingsboro population -4.
It's okay. You still got more cities in there than Illinois did.
And
We,
for me and John as freaking New Yorkers, because Albany, Armenia, I don't even know what that is. the Bronx, which took 8,000
Nice.
years to finally happen.
Finally.
Brooklyn, Buffalo, Chinatown, which is not like
Dude, there's a Chinatown here too. It's not.
Same right here.
it's not like
There's always a Chinatown.
It's not specific.
Should we
Fulton,
still be
Glens
calling
Falls.
it that? That's
They
the question.
literally just watched the Warriors and tried to get every single city they could from the gangs.
John, you technically get to claim being from Harlem.
I guess I'm more from the South. I'm like right across the bridge. I'm in the South Bronx.
No,
but
yeah, but I mean like
it's the same amount of violence.
Harlem is separated from Manhattan in this situation.
I don't know if I like what that implies, but I'll let it go. Ni hao.
Ni hao.
Oh, ni hao.
Manhattan, Mount Sinai, New York, Ozone Park, if you're just incredible. Queens, Worcester, Saratoga Springs, Scarsdale, Staten Island, Yonkers, Yorktown Heights.
Tom says he misses the feature where you can add your own music. I think
We
I
all
do too,
do.
but you know the fucking PS5 is
Online messed that up completely.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you can do that?
Years since the PS4, because PS4s hold MP3s and you can actually, or is it PS4 or PS3?
I
Maybe
did not.
PS3.
I did not see that. That's
PS-
Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone else comment the same thing.
Yeah, I saw this Tongaloa stuff because this is not the first one, right? He does the 619. No, not. First of all, he fucked up the Kamigoye. He fucked up the. He didn't fuck it up, but it looked like dog shit. He did a garbage ass. It landed on the shoulder clearly, and then he fell slowly with it, like he tripped forward, like he couldn't get back up. And
is he like actively trying to not go back to WWE? He's like, I just need to wrestle like shit. They don't call me.
I think I can. I have the video, but it's weird. New Japan is so scary about.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Their stuff.
Oh no, yeah, no. Tina, I actually will get you.
You put a GIF up online, they nuke your account to the Stone Age. Yeah.
But
they were getting people for posting their own stuff on YouTube.
They got their own accounts. They clipped their own accounts by accident.
They do that.
That happened.
Isn't there that GIF online where he's like slowly chopping Okada in the stomach and then in the face and then it said this is when Okada knew he had to leave New Japan.
That's what I said.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
I
and
understand.
that's why, like, I've sent that video out to people who are just like Okada's not gonna sell Kingston's offense. I was like, no, you don't know what Okada has sold,
dude. Kingston slapped Okada in the chest one time tonight, and Okada's chest was like apple red.
I can't wait to see that match, actually. But this Tongaloa thing, all of New Japan right now is kind of like this Tongaloa clip kind of represents how I feel about it. Like it's got no redeeming quality now. I can't think of a single thing that I'm like, I can't wait to watch this. The last few cards have been like hot garbage. Jungle Boy in the House of Torture, just not my thing.
They're also in the midst of the New Japan Cup and trying to break that into several shows.
You would think the New Japan Cup is where you can show off all these new matches that you have with the roster that you currently have, and they are. And I'm like, this sucks. This all sucks.
I just love the fact that everyone's finally appreciating and addressing the fact that Camacho's not that good.
Oh,
Camacho,
God,
right? He was Camacho.
It was Camacho.
God.
On the bike, right?
He was on the bike
with Rico.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're trying to play up a Tongan as Puerto Rican. Awesome.
I mean, they tried to play up a Puerto Rican as Mexican. They don't care.
Well, they tried to play
Italian
up an Italian.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, the Italian was Middle Eastern.
Exactly. The Japanese man was actually Samoan. It goes on forever.
You know what's funny about that Muhammad Hassan character? Like, he had conviction, like in the beginning of his gimmick, and then Vince was like, and then Vince was like, fuck it, no, let's just make him a terrorist that strangles people with piano wire.
Yeah,
that sucked.
Like this nuance got too interesting. Let's dumb it down.
Yeah.
No story.
NJPW just lost the plot in 2020. Well, that was the first like real kink in the arm. Like everything was going so well for like 7 years. I feel like from like 2012 to like 2019, and then AEW came into existence, and then New Japan started doing some funny things, and then the pandemic, and that was like the big blow. And now,
I mean, nothing
here-
great is great forever.
Did you?
yeah, that's how that goes.
Did you guys hear what Great O'Connell said about Naito the other day?
I did
No.
not.
He was in a backstage comments and he was like, "What makes my belt less than your belt? You know, the KOPW." He goes, "Everybody that's held that belt in the past couple of years has left and gone on to greener pastures." He goes, "Will Ospreay held it and he left." He goes, "Okada left it and he left. Jay White had it and he left." And he goes, "Why don't you just do what everybody else does, Naito?" He goes, "That belt means nothing." He goes, "Just take it and leave."
I didn't
It's a
realize they
weird
held
thing to
that
say
belt.
out loud.
Greener
Yeah.
pastures.
Well, they've been saying a
AEW.
lot of weird shit. They've been saying a lot of weird shit on television lately with Yoda Tsuji and things he said to Okada, Naito in his interview talking about Okada again. I mean, they
I
generally
mean,
do.
giving Okada crap about leaving is at least like I can deal with that. That's like okay, yeah. I like my young wrestlers to be disrespectful to the vets.
Yeah, but Naito was
Understandable.
making sense. What Naito was saying was, like, what were all the tears about when you're going to a company that's associated with New Japan? You'll probably be back in a year. And what
Oh
was
yeah,
with
no,
all
that
the
made sense too.
yeah? And he goes, what were all the tears in San Jose when you were hugging Ospreay when you literally saw him like 6 weeks later?
That's
you know?
even Ospreay kind of hinted at it too, like, hey, we might end up in the same place. But that's just Naito talking that shit. They'll set up that beautiful match at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Naito has been vocal about the leavings for a while.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Because
But
like
Naito's also bipolar and loves to smash belts, and you know.
maybe
They were still fine through 2019. You're absolutely right about that,
Yeah, they
David.
were,
yeah.
Ultimately, the pandemic was the first real punch in the face.
Because I
But
think it was
A lot of wrestling.
Wasn't it the Elite leaving first?
the Elite leaving was like they could have been. They would have been fine. Like they would have been fine. I think after that, it took a little while for people to get used to Jay White, but they did put Will Ospreay up in that spot. They did have Shingo up in the heavyweight title picture for a while, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
Pussies.
some people would
I
even
think
around
argue
the
it's as
time
far
that,
back as like AJ and Shinsuke leaving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
think around the time AJ and Shinsuke leaving was I think it was AJ and Shinsuke leaving, mostly Shinsuke, where Naito was like, "Why are we celebrating these guys going to the other company?"
Yeah.
Oh, because they gave Naito the big old celebration issue.
Yeah,
It says David says, I think they have an issue with elevating young lion classes at a slow rate. Imagine if they had Tsuji, Umino, Uemura, and Narita ready a year ago. You're absolutely right about that. And again, this might be another one of those things that's pandemic related because people like Umino were trapped where they lived in their excursion. And but there's something about, I don't know if it's the booking, I don't know if I could blame New Japan for taking long besides, the pandemic issue. It's like a combination of things. It's a combination of uninspired booking and this class of next generation young lions not exactly being ready to break past bad booking. They're kind of they're still young. They're kind of still subject to anything that the brass does to them. Somebody
New Japan had that thing for a long time where they were having like Hiromu win the best of the Super Juniors every year, and Okada and Tanahashi win in the G1 every year, and it's like those years could have been better suited having somebody who was up and coming but just needed that little push over the finish line to get there. And I understand why they kept going back to the tried and true, because Okada and Tanahashi were the standard bearers for 15, 16 years in New Japan, but that's where I think that they were faltering. I know they wanted that big, Okada and Naito match to headline the Tokyo Dome, but you could throw a Shingo in there. You could throw, I know they're doing it with Sonata
well,
now. but you
Shingo
could
did
have
get
done
to
it-
main event the Dome.
Yeah, but I'm saying like years. I'm talking like 2018, 2019. Just shock value, man. Put somebody in there.
To that point, I will say to you that they did themselves a disservice by connecting the G1 to the Kingdom show.
it does lock them into a box.
They tried to do the
That's their
WWE
specialty
thing
is being
where
locked in a box.
they tried to do this WWE business model where like okay like the G1 Climax means more because it means they're main eventing the big Wrestle Kingdom show. It's like, but that bottlenecked everything about the booking.
He won until
Uh-oh.
Oh no,
we lost
the sound.
Uh-oh. We lost all your sound, Mac. We don't hear you anymore. But I guess I'll take a second to address David's comment where he says now those being the Young Lions, don't have the biggest elk in the forest to hunt, unfortunately. Naito isn't Okada. Tana already did that for Okada. Who do they have to take that from? That's a great question. I think
nobody. They
Am I
have
back?
Naito and that's it.
You're back.
you are back. I think they may be in a situation where this is what I mean by maybe they weren't ready, because if they had done this year matches with them against each other, right, where you kind of were supposed to show like this is what the next generation is capable of. Not everybody's done it yet, and I thought that was a mistake at Wrestle Kingdom that we didn't have a Shooter in a singles match. We had the others, but we had the others. It was Shooter. It was Shooter and Ren Narita, right? That was trapped in the fucking tag match together.
I think so.
Yeah, they were with Evil and Kaito.
Yeah, because Ren Narita's in House of Torture.
Yep. And it was like, man, that would have been a perfect opportunity for them to face each other like in a singles match at Wrestle Kingdom to kind of showcase this is your next generation. Well, they eventually did do that with Yota Tsuji and Yuri Mora, and that match ended up blowing chunks. So now it's like, fuck. Now you prove that that's not even gonna be the good direction to go next. And now he's lost his gorgeous hair, and he looks like some fucking normal yuppie. I think their only real option is to I don't know, man. You don't want to depend on another company, right? But they have the relationship with AEW, and you kind of want to hope that maybe Tony Khan will throw them a fucking bone.
Hey, now, listen, this makes me have to say something right here. I've sat through a recent episode of Ring of Honor. Yes, I know. They just randomly threw Ishimori on there to take on a jobber.
Oh yeah, I know.
Minutes. Yeah. It was the most random thing ever.
Yeah, he tweeted out that he was in town. I was like, oh God, he's on Dynamite. And then it was like, catch Ishimori on Ring of Honor. And I was like, why?
So what are we doing? Not every bone is going to be one of just pure flavor.
I think another weird thing is
happens when those guys come over, because then they're just like when those guys come over to like America, because the same thing happened with Mina Shirakawa. Like they're here for one booking, but they pick up paychecks.
It happened to Utami too.
Yeah.
You know what it is? You know what it really is? Tony, and I've noticed this about AEW, we've mentioned this before. He doesn't pivot well. He plans. He plans.
We found this out tonight.
Right? He plans well. He plans as well as he can plan. But when things change, he doesn't have. He doesn't have a grasp on making something really interesting out of fucking lemons.
Yeah. Thin air.
He doesn't have a grasp on making lemonade out of lemons.
In fact, I don't think he even plans for the thing not going well.
Yeah, that's what, like, usually it'll come back together, but then it takes like weeks. Like we stumble and then we have to get it back together. Like Adam Cole and MJF, they stumbled for a while. Now you're finally getting it back together. Like there wasn't a big pivot. We got this. So when Japanese talent comes over from Japan and they're available like next week, he's like, oh, I can't fit that on Dynamite, but I don't want to say no. Yeah. So
20-year veteran, no spots.
Work the taping, right? Establish the relationship. Make sure that they're happy. Give them a nice paycheck. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Bring them back when you're ready.
Suzuki's working Rampage. Why? Because he's here this week.
Because we get it. He came on Monday. He said, I'm available on Wednesday. Wednesday it is. Suzuki versus Bryan Danielson on Rampage.
Yeah.
What? Rampage.
Akiyama's wrestling Bryan Danielson. Why? Because he's here.
We got him.
Yeah, Joe. Jesus brought up the perfect example. Like I said, when Adam Cole got injured, the main event scene was cooked. It was fucked. He was like, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's
Can
try
I-
this
can I-
double thing out.
Can I say something about the New Japan thing too? Is like,
Yeah.
Go for it.
you want to establish these new stars, but
Mhm.
New Japan's not pushing them the way that they want to be. You know, I'm sure like Uemura and Suji, you know, they want to be in the main event. Everybody does. You know, it's like even if you're the lowest guy in the company, you always dream about being the manager. You know, but bringing in somebody like Jack Perry and pushing him and having him win matches in the New Japan Cup, whereas you could have put somebody else in that spot, I think it's kind of demoralizing to somebody maybe like a Yo or a Show, you know, who have been there for a long time and they're just like, hey man, I just need some good booking. You know,
It
I
doesn't
just,
know-
you know,
I
I
don't
just
know
need,
that it,
I need something. But oh, here comes a guy from another company because you don't want to develop new stars that has name recognition, and you're just going to put him in a, you know, whether you want to say that the House of Torture is shit or not. The guy on Twitter, I think his name is Sarayan or something. He said that they're the fourth most popular group in
Third.
Japan. Third, not even in just New Japan, like all over, and they don't book the House of
fuck?
Torture for Westerners. They book them for Japan.
Did you just have a bubble on your head? Was that like a thumbs up bubble?
Who,
What the
me?
hell was that? Yeah, absolutely. It was
No.
right on top of your head. I don't know where it came from.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Ooh,
I was
Ghost.
like, oh goodness.
Paranormal podcast. Let's go.
Goodness. I was gonna say with
Was
people
one of my
with
title belts?
No, it was like someone pressed like and like a bubble came up like, and it was like a fucking
That
thumb
does
next to
happen.
your head. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. That's
Ooh,
different.
Max streaming while on a stream. Let's go.
Yeah,
My
I
hands
got
are
the
right here.
setup.
My hands are right here.
So I was gonna to address the show and Yo specifically. I just think
Yeah.
some guys they're not seen as being that like they're just not seen as being at that level. Like
They're not the
they
main event
brought
guys
in
yet.
they bring in a Jack Perry because this show and Yo are not going to get that
That's
spot.
a good
like,
point. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and I think they understand that though. Like I don't know if they get like really mad like my time because I feel like the attitude's different over there. Like usually when they feel like I need to be elevated, they'll start bulking up and they'll start working harder and they'll start changing their style. And you notice that's what they want because they're working towards it. I don't know that those guys want a spot that Jack Perry has right now. They feel like they're very successful in what they're doing. I mean, fucking what was it? Show just got strapped right in like a weird ass count out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. That was very weird. Yeah.
Tom says, I don't watch NJPW. He keeps up with as much as he can, but his chaos is still a thing. It is,
Yes.
but it's
Yeah.
not like
Chuck Taylor's the leader.
he swears.
Hey, Sandy.
It's not like in America, right? Like the faction is. It doesn't mean like we're gonna run out and jump everybody every fucking every week, unless you're House of Torture. But fucking, you're just like it's like an MMA group. You know, like this is my team. We work out together.
We all
we
train
eat
together, but we're not like we're not like
we're
a gang
friends.
that runs
Yeah.
together all the time.
Yeah, basically, like it's
Who's left in-
like they'll
Who's left
tag
in
team.
Chaos?
They'll tag team in the 6-mans. They'll do 10-mans together. We're chaos, but it's
Sure.
not.
All right.
Hey,
Oh,
we
see?
lost John.
It's not like John's even around.
We usurped him. It's our time now, boys.
Let's take
Oh,
over
man.
Uprising.
He's gonna be
He's
back in.
back.
Wait, what? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait, what? Nice.
I did. They booted me, dog. That's crazy. Somebody
Get
didn't like
outta
I was
here,
talking
get
about
down.
New Japan.
I think it was. Yeah, they probably tried to take down your stream because you were talking about them.
Damn you, damn Bushi Road. I
Can't keep getting away with it.
So yeah, no, New Japan cooked. We got that's the
All
general
right.
idea.
Just to sum it up, New Japan cooked.
Great job, everyone.
So-
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us.
yeah. MLW,
Mack.
okay. TNA.
Mac, you
Yeah.
were
Oh.
at okay, I was gonna jump into the thing. What were you gonna say, Greg?
No, just jump into it.
About to jump in.
Let's fucking go.
I was gonna have fun with the fact that like the interesting moves they have been making, and I because I was trying to look up the chaos thing, and I was on the New Japan website IWGP World Champion, but IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. Our old boy Nick Nemeth. What are we doing here?
Is he? I thought you were saying he was Chaos. I was like, when did that happen?
No, although that would be more interesting, wouldn't it?
I don't know that it. I don't know that it. What are we doing? I mean, it just started, and I'm sure his dates are like, he's not gonna be there for every date, on a tour. I'm sure he'll be there for like the big shows.
No, but here's the thing, right? People were saying, what's the difference between the Global Championship and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship? And I think it was
the answer is nothing.
I think it was no. I think Chris Charlton actually said people come to New Japan to fight for the IWGP Heavyweight title. The Global Champion goes around the world to fight the best people.
He made that shit up on the spot.
He tried to give it the NWA shine. That's funny.
He says that, and then like next, he's gonna start realizing like, why isn't this belt going anywhere? I should have spoken.
Wasn't it supposed to be defended in his match against Macklin, and then he just never came out with the belt? Macklin said in a promo in TNA, I know I'm saying me, I know. Macklin said in a promo, he goes, I want that belt. And then literally did not come out with the belt, was not announced as a championship match, and did not fucking celebrate with the belt afterwards.
He said, I want that belt. And Ziggler said, no. No, thank you.
I forgot who asked. Someone did, but someone did ask who's in Chaos. This is by way of the NWJP. Sorry, wow, NJPW 1972 website. The Chaos faction currently includes Hiroki Goto, who should probably be pushed up to the main event by now.
It's about 12 years too late, but yeah.
Listen, right now it's great opportunity.
Right now is Goto's time, really?
Yes.
Go to bed.
Listen. If that has never been uttered on a podcast before.
This is a podcast first, folks.
Yeah.
Hiroki Goto, Rocky Romero, Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano, favorite of the podcast, Wheeler Yuta.
What?
Yeah.
We love Wheeler Yuta.
Yo,
I know we do, but
I
I'm
know
saying, like,
someone who grew up with Wheeler Yuta.
And Yoshihashi.
Okay, but then you got Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and the leader of Chaos, Chuck Taylor.
They are like
that's funny.
They are
as
like
hell.
They are like chapters of Chaos.
He literally
because how the hell does Yuta get in onto the roster page, but not the Okada approved best friends Chaos chapter?
Did you see the
who approved? Who's that guy?
Right, that's probably what it is.
Did you guys see a couple weeks ago? He tweeted out, "Oh man, am I the leader of Chaos now?" And then when he was on TV, he did the thumbs up and it did the faraway camera push like they used to do with Okada with the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
Did they not like? Are we not doing that with Okada anymore? That makes me really sad.
No, now that he's a heel, we're not. No,
he's just because they can.
Oh, they're not doing the.
They haven't done the snap zoom at all yet. But he also hasn't. He hasn't set it up. Like he hasn't set it up at all. He hasn't even.
Well,
hit the fucking.
He hasn't been in a singles match yet. He's been with the Bucks, and they were on the side going like this, every single time.
That should be the next week. That should be the shot, though. Like if we're doing a 6-man, that should be the zoom shot now. Like the fucking Bucks on the side. I should also mention. I was having
Are they doing it mid-match?
Remember when Chuck Taylor went to Romero with goddamn Okada and they didn't give him a coat? Yes, I remember because he mentioned it on Twitter, and then Batista tweeted him back like, "Please don't disrespect legendary legacy or culture because they didn't give you a coat." And then Chuck Taylor tweeted him back like, "Shouldn't you be defending your friend from his pedophile jokes?" Fucking God, Jesus. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So yes, David, I do remember. So
well, that got real fast.
Mack, you, my friend, were at AEW Big Business.
I was.
How was that? How was the experience?
It was fucking great. And you know what? Let me tell you something. Like, I know this, people are gonna say that I have an AEW bias or I don't like WWE, dude. I don't even fucking watch wrestling anymore. Okay, let me be
Wrestling's
completely honest
stupid.
with you. I work on Monday nights. I follow through Twitter, and if you didn't so graciously add me to this group a year and a half ago, by the way, I never thanked you. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd watch. I fucking hate wrestling, dude. Okay,
Jesus Christ.
but here's the.
We
You
hate
sound like
pro
you
wrestling,
sound like
the
the fucking
spinoff.
soliloquy I saw Vince Russo give.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That show was outstanding. It was better than Blood and Guts that I went to.
That's fair.
It was better. I honestly think it was better. I mean, the Blood and Guts match was great, but I'm not, and I know I'm going to probably get in a lot of shit for this. I'm not a fan of like overly gimmick matches with like 40 guys in the ring at the same time. I don't like war games. I don't like multi-man cage matches.
The Royal Rumble.
I love the Royal Rumble, but that's not like gimmicked up with weapons and shit like that. Like there should never be weapons.
Sometimes
2001,
I mean,
man.
There was that one
That's
time.
one of
that
the
was
best,
great.
one of the best
My
Rumbles
favorite.
ever, actually.
But how many times? But how many times have they fucking done it? They've done it once.
They
you know?
should do it again. They actually did do
Well,
it again,
yeah.
but it wasn't as good. They did it in
Yeah.
2007 with the
Did they?
ECW revival
Oh, yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Sabu getting chokeslammed through the table was fun though.
Listen,
Because it was such a bad bump.
I know.
Yeah.
But listen,
it was.
I don't want to get too far off track, but I just want to say I'm a
Yeah.
traditionalist. I grew up with late 80s NWA, WCW cage matches. There were never any like chains or tables or chairs or ladders inside of the War Games match. It was just guys in there with their fists beating the shit out of each other, busting each other open hard way. And it was just it was a war. And I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of like the cage is the weapon.
You
Submission
must
or
have
surrender.
hated the Doomsday Cage.
Oh, dude, that fucking match was terrible. with that Duel of the Butcher, that thing
It's
was terrible.
Doomsday.
Yeah, but you know what? Getting back on track, Big Business was really, really good, and I enjoyed everything on the show, but I think I enjoyed Rampage after a little bit more.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah,
Rampage.
there was some really, really good matches on Rampage. I don't know what you guys saw was announced, but they had a six man with Action Andretti and Top Flight versus the Undisputed Kingdom of Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Roderick Strong. They had Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May just squash these two girls in a match that was like 5 minutes.
Wait,
And
did
then,
you get to see Mina Shirakawa?
yes, but on Ring of Honor though.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
She
that's
fought,
right.
Mira Shirakawa.
That's the only good thing on that show.
Yeah, she fought Anna Jay. That was a real big surprise. But
Oh,
the
that's
other,
too much ass.
but
A lot of ass.
the main event. Well, the main event was the Kingdom, but the real main event of Rampage, and everybody should watch it, was Konosuke Takeshita versus Commander. It was fucking bananas.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in for that. Rampage
Yeah.
has slowly become come on in, we have a banger match show of the week.
Yeah.
Like it's like if Velocity had like one sick ass 15-minute match every single week.
Yeah.
Which was the original vision for it.
Should have been
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
For a brief period, that was sort of the format for main event, I found out.
I actually remember that, but it was like it lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah, it was a very brief period.
do you remember?
But like
the,
I remember one
yeah.
time tuning in for main event, and it was just like they would just do this hype package, and then they would just let Cesaro and Sin Cara just go 20 minutes, just have at it. Nobody cares.
Dude, they didn't even
That's right.
advertise a CM Punk as WWE champion versus Sheamus as World Heavyweight Champion one-on-one match. Never even fucking advertised it on TV.
On
just
main
like
event?
put it on
I
the
actually
website.
do-
Yeah.
I remember them. I remember when they announced that match because it was one of the really early
Yeah.
main events, and I remember thinking like, "Wow, this fun show." I was a kid. I thought I was a kid. I was like a teenager, but I
Yeah.
thought like, "Wow, this show's gonna be great." I fell into the marketing so hard.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened again with WWE Superstars. I was like,
Oh, I
"Wow,
remember
this is
that,
gonna
yeah.
be great."
Yeah,
It
what
was.
was the debut Superstars thing? Undertaker and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, it was a big ass match.
Yeah, because like they're
I think
making
Rey
this a big
Mysterio was
deal.
on it.
They're putting Undertaker in here. Like, okay, what is this?
I actually had
Bastards.
somebody text me one time, and they were like, "Did you see Akira Tozawa versus Chad Gable on Main Event?" And I was like, "Why would I have seen that?" And they were like, "Dude, it was like 8 minutes, and it was just them. It was like Vince closed his eyes and was like, I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear it, just go do it." And he was like, "Dude, it's so good, go watch it." And I don't remember if it was Gable, but it was Akira Tozawa and somebody. It might have been like Shelton Benjamin or somebody, but man, did that match fuck.
I don't know. I think that should be the attitude with every one of those secondary wrestling shows. You should treat it like a house show and go out there. And go out there and do house show shit like nobody's looking, and you end
I
up
almost
getting
left
crazy
before
buzz.
Rampage.
Well, they should put less Chuck Taylor on it.
That's horrible. You leave Chuck
Gee.
alone, he's injured.
I-
Why they put
I,
Bryan
no such
Danielson on Saturday Morning Slam?
Hey,
Hey,
that was
listen.
some bangers. That was some bangers.
Hey, you watch it, man.
Yeah.
The
Let's
ball
put,
strap.
let's put Daniel Bryan and William Regal on a show that nobody's watching, so we'll just play the real man's man music behind them.
Incredible stuff.
Regal man's man.
David says, I wish they'd use
Oh,
Rampage
wait.
to experiment with things. They did the CMLL match with Marrero and Mystico. They would like to see them do more Lucha Libre. There's the thumb again. What
There
the
it is.
fuck? They
Oh,
would like to see them do
Joshua.
more Lucha Libre, Joshi, and even bring Josh Barnett in for a Bloodsport match on Rampage sometime. I feel like they should commit to doing experiments on Rampage like that. But I do feel like they do generally do the experimental things there. Or sometimes that almost the place for the misfit stories. Like sometimes we'll build something on Dynamite and it's like we don't think this fits anymore. But they don't want to throw it away, so they'll finish the story on Rampage. Like
What?
Saraya and the
Finish the
Outcasts.
story.
Saraya and Ruby Soho are feuding. They broke up and they killed Ruby Soho's boyfriend
What a slapjack.
on Rampage. Like this all happened on Rampage.
Rest in peace.
So-
Did they finish the story?
It's like a man. No, if they give Cody the Winged Eagle with WWE gigantic WWE fucking
Oh,
capitalism
God.
logos on it,
Are you genuinely scared of that?
He said capitalism logos.
I can't deal with that, bro. Did you see the World Heavyweight Championship?
Yeah. I know,
Did you
yeah.
see what they did to the most beautiful belt in existence, Greg?
See,
I have never even considered the idea that could happen. So I'm just like, are you genuinely scared of that?
You are naive. That no,
Maybe.
Can
you're
I,
a sweet summer
maybe.
child. No.
Can I bring
David, I agree with you.
I was sitting at during the Ring of Honor taping, somebody looked over and looked at Mina Shirakawa, and they were like, "That bitch is 36."
Jesus. What? You can't
I
just
guess-
scream somebody's
I know.
name out there, somebody's age out there like that at a wrestling event.
Right.
I was like, I turned to him because we were talking. I was like, "What do you?" He's like, "I just Wikipedia'd her. She's 36. She looks like she's 22."
Asian
Yes.
genetics, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna come up with an Asian version of Don't Crack, but I couldn't think of one.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah,
or at least a good one.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
and you don't want to stutter doing
There's no
it either,
version
'cause
of
we'll
that I
get
can say
canceled.
that feels correct.
Yeah, I know. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Why did the show just all of a sudden fade away?
There used to be a Wednesday show. So again, big business, Mac. I know you had a great time at the event at home. It was quite the show. We had the longer recap earlier. If you want to see us go in depth on our thoughts on AEW Dynamite, you go on ahead. But then you won't be
I'll
able
probably
to get to
watch it
see
afterwards.
Greg fuck around with his belts on the Dirty Radio show.
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it after we get done here. I'll watch it while I'm laying in bed.
It was a fun show, fun
that.
post show for sure. But fun event, man. It just felt like it flowed.
One of the
I
best
was
post shows
saying-
we've done.
It is one of the best post shows we've done. Actually, one of the most watched too. But the thing about this week's Dynamite is that it was a real showcase of how deep the roster is now.
Mhm.
It felt like every single match had like a big important start. It felt like it anyway.
Yeah.
It felt like every match had somebody important, somebody hot, somebody who could be world champion of their division. every single segment felt important.
And then you
I was
remind
like,
yourself
how-
that there are still several people left off the show.
Yeah,
Osprey-
or
No, that was the
injured
thing.
or
Like
not
Orange
here.
Cassidy and Moxley weren't even on the show. And it's
Yeah.
like, how long has there been a Dynamite without one of the two of them on it?
Well,
Yeah.
Cassidy was on Rampage, so you'll get your fill of Jane by Jeff the Starship. Don't worry about it.
That's a good song though.
Was
It
there
is.
was there much of any BCC representation on this episode?
None,
Not
zero.
today,
No?
no.
Yeah,
They
Hey,
were
where?
sleeping.
By the way, where has Yuta been?
Hurt.
I think
Oh,
he got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, he is scheduled for a match at the end of the month. I might expect him to be better by
He's
then.
supposed to defend
He's,
his belt, right?
Yes.
He's scheduled for a CMML show next
Yep.
month. Also, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay. I was just looking that up. Yeah. Okay.
One of the
So-
things too that commentary
Go ahead.
really made sure to emphasize is the fact that the roster depth is immense, and on top of that, it's not just a big roster because they've had that forever, but it's the fact that it's a quality roster at that, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of big megastars on it.
Can I tell you who came out of the show looking really good and people were talking about him? Because I was going down the stairs with a bunch of people and they were like, dude, the Gates of Agony got it. They got it.
I dig
That's
that.
good.
They're like, they're
I dig it.
good.
I
Like I
like
said-
him, man.
John
Yeah,
has
awesome.
been a con mark since the dark days.
The Bishop.
I thought he looked great. I thought he had good intensity. I was ready for them to pick him up on Dark, and they put him in this, and I was like, oh, okay.
Did you see the post match interview with them?
I didn't.
It's on the website. Who's the guy that doesn't have all the face? He has like the beard and like the pony. Is that Khan?
Khan is the
Yeah,
one that has
the
the
muscly one.
ponytail. The big.
Okay.
he's the larger. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, Max
Max
gone.
gone.
No,
No, exactly.
So
John
there.
John tends to miss a lot of the backstage stuff because he has to go from the show straight
was
into
right
the post
screaming.
show.
over the stream.
There we go.
yeah,
All
so
in.
Toa was screaming and Khan was sitting down and Khan's like, relax. He's like, we opened the gates tonight and we didn't close them. He goes, but you know what? Those gates still ain't closed. He goes, Chris Jericho. He goes, you ain't heard the last of us. He was like the calm one. The other dude was screaming. He's like, relax, man.
I think
relax.
they are.
I
Yeah.
think that's what they
Kinda.
are too, because like
Yeah.
he dresses like a normal person, and the other one
Yeah.
dresses like an
Yeah.
island dude.
Like a
Dude,
savage.
they
like,
came off so good in that
I
interview.
wouldn't say
so
a savage.
great.
Oh no.
They
I
just
thought he
look
was going
like
for the
they
savage.
look like stars, dude. They look like fucking stars.
They look like a great. They are a great team. I think they've only improved the longer I've seen them on TV. And as to answer David's question, yes,
Yes.
they are still associated with Nana, and Nana's like a complete heel when he's out there with them, or Brian
Mm-hmm.
Cage. But when he's with Swerve, he's just like he just, which is funny.
Oh
It's actually
man.
really funny.
After Swerve got out of the ring tonight and they
Oh.
cut to commercial, the whole crowd, who's Swerve's house? Just going
Yeah.
crazy. Then they played his music and the whole crowd was doing the Nana dance and everything. It's time, man. It's Swerve's time. I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
I don't care if Joe just won the title 3 months ago. It's Swerve's time, man.
No, it's fine because it won't happen until April 20,
Yeah.
whatever the hell. Like that's over a month away. I think
Yeah.
Joe with a 5-month world championship reign
Yeah.
is probably more than enough, especially since the line has gotten so long.
Yeah.
the line for
quality
world
options.
champions.
I
It's
just had the-
probably time. Yep.
I
But
just had
also,
the
like we
funniest-
talked about this a couple of weeks back, where we said like, you know, after some of the last few, maybe we should like reel in the year-long championship reigns.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just have the funniest feeling that they're going to announce that for Dynasty and Hangman
Yep.
Magnum TA is going to come back and fucking ruin the match.
Oh, Hangman
Makes sense.
Hangman
Hangman
TA.
NTA. Let's go.
Hangman TA, hangman, hanging him.
Yeah, I just have
I,
the funniest feeling he's going to come back, even though he's suspended. But you know,
He's suspended, but he's also. They say he's away for a personal issue, whatever that means. I
Yeah.
imagine the
That
personal
means
issue is he
making the
really
mustache
wants.
bigger.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I imagine he just wants to really fix that mustache and get the Magnum TA thing going. But yeah, no. When it comes to the AEW World Championship, there is quite a bit of worthy wrestlers on the roster, and our boy Tom Lamont with the alley-oop segue. It's a shame Bryan Danielson ain't winning the
Let's talk about
AEW
that.
World Championship. Yeah,
yeah.
I am.
Shame
What do you guys
Danielson
wanna
looked a
talk
little
about?
too much like Shane Dawson there for me.
Here's my
Nice.
thing. Let me
I
take
got
this
that
for a
reference.
second.
Thanks,
Let me
Greg. Appreciate you.
let me grab this for an instant. Bryan Danielson, as I've mentioned many
I'll be right
times,
back.
is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's my favorite wrestler on the planet. And not only that, I think he's the greatest wrestler who's ever fucking lived. He's just perfect at everything and anything.
But what about Bruno Sammartino?
Yeah, he'll take Bruno's fucking leg and mail it back to Italy.
Hey now. Whoa, hey, yo.
He'll mail it to Nick.
Oh, okay, I'm okay with that. That's my
I
new
remember
souvenir.
a very long time ago there was like an IWA Mid-South like question and answer thing they did, and they were asking a bunch of guys what their dream matches would have been, dead or alive or whatever. And a lot of guys named some interesting contemporary choices. And Bryan Danielson was just like, I don't know what happened.
Nick fucking made it all morbid, and I can't stop laughing.
Oh, the skull. The skull,
He said it's Bruno Sammartino, and I know now for a fact that skull will be called Bruno for the rest
Bruno.
of the time we exist on television.
We finally figured out
the
his
internet.
name.
Hey,
For
Jonathan,
how
did
long
you-
has it been since we came up with a name? I've been wanting to have a name for this thing.
That is Bruno.
Hey John, did you see that? I think I don't know who runs the Twitter account, but whoever does had the quote from Danielson that said, "No, I'm never going to win the AEW title." And then someone above it put a quote of Bryan going, "I love to lie. Cody taught me how to lie." And I was like, "Yes, please lie, Bryan."
So
lie.
here's my thoughts on that. Like I said, I think Bryan Danielson is literally the greatest wrestler to ever take breaths in his lungs.
Agreed.
So I think
Greater
that
than his trainer?
not only Shawn Michaels or William Regal.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay,
Shawn Michaels
I was
took
gonna say
$3,000 of his money and William Regal trained him.
yeah.
That
I was
is the
gonna
most
say
Shawn Michaels thing that could happen.
I was gonna say it's really Rudy Boy Gonzalez, but
And
Yeah,
let me-
it is.
And let me tell you something. That's a very specific Shawn Michaels. That's a Shawn Michaels wearing the white Shawn Michaels wrestling T-shirt in the booty short
And the
pants
booty
where he
shorts.
used to referee. That's the Shawn
booty
Michaels that took
shorts.
the $3,000.
let him walk around San Antonio like that. I refuse to believe that they let him walk
That's
around
a
San
lot.
Antonio like that. Anyway, Bryan Danielson, not only do I consider him that, but I've noticed that the world is starting to recognize that may just be the case. You can say now, Bryan Danielson is the greatest wrestler alive, and people won't be like, that's fucking ridiculous. They'll be like,
Joseph
you know what?
Montecillo put up a 1-hour video with receipts.
Yeah, no, literally an hour video essay. It's one of the best things I've ever seen too.
Yeah.
With other wrestlers chiming in, like, "Yep, no, he's better than all of us."
It's just an hour. It's just an hour of Brian slamming Nigel's head into the ring post. at
Oh my
fucking
God!
United.
Stop it!
The knives.
You can literally think you can literally watch all your favorite wrestlers, ask them, and they'll tell you the same thing. And I don't think Bryan realizes this. I think he understands that he has star power that he was given in the WWE by his own work. I think he recognizes that and he wants to use that to help elevate the younger wrestlers in AEW, and that is great and noble, and passing the torch is what the better wrestlers want to do. That's what humans do, right? As a fucking species, we take what we know, and we know we're gonna die, so we give it to the younger ones so they can take what we know, add it to what they know, and keep on passing it on, and it snowballs. It's a snowball of knowledge.
Yep.
Bryan, I've heard the way he talks about himself. He comes off like, if he jokes around like a cocky guy, but he's actually humble as fuck.
It's a big old hippie.
I don't believe that he believes that he's the greatest wrestler in the world. He was literally in an interview with was it SXSW, whatever the fuck, South by Southwest, that convention the other day.
SXSW.
That's where this quote comes from. But another quote that people aren't talking about is Bryan Danielson saying, you know, back in 2004 when I wasn't considered the best in the world, and Tony Khan literally stops him like, no, we all considered you the best in the world back then too. You can literally find it online. Bryan has been called, like, this was a name, CM Punk calls himself the best in the world. That's legitimately a thing that he took from Bryan, who didn't call himself the best in the world. They called him the best in the world. That's like a gimmick name that was given to him that Punk took and he like used it in WWE and it became like his catchphrase thing. But this is how long he's been considered that, and this is how long people have been telling Bryan things like that. I don't think it registers to him that he actually is one of the greatest fucking wrestlers to ever live. So I don't think he understands how important for the company, for the prestige of the belt, it would be, and for the flame in that very torch that he wants to hand down. I don't think he recognizes how important it would be for him to just hold that and then drop it to someone. I can't remember. I think it's Trevor Dame on Twitter who said, like, you actually have to hold the torch to pass it down. Like,
but see, I think Bryan sees anytime that he's holding the title as it could be on somebody, a younger guy, and they could be going on a run. That's how humble he is, you know?
It's too humble because he doesn't have the time left like for that kind of shit.
Oh, I know.
He's somewhere Bryan Danielson's in the back, just like in Joe's ear. Gonna drop it. Do the right thing, Joe.
I think Tony's gonna have to beat that shit into his head like just once. I need you to hold on to this, please.
Like just Sting.
Like Sting, like they had to fucking force him not only to win the belts, but not to drop it in the retirement match. You know what I mean?
On top.
Yeah.
So
Bryan Danielson's the kind of guy that would like go to get a job after wrestling, and they would put down like planter of fruits, father. Wait, weren't you a professional wrestler? Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, I guess I was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he is the kind of guy who wouldn't even bring it up, would he? Omega. Ooh. Okay.
Oh God, they fucking wild.
I'm so glad Jesus
killing him down there.
I'm so glad he's trolling us.
Do you think Danielson will ever get that bear match in AEW? Honestly, the way that he's been booked,
Bear Bronson or Boulder.
I think that he could. I think he could probably convince Tony to let him wrestle a bear before Tony could convince him to hold the world championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, David says he does need to get some big wins sometimes, though, or he becomes 2013 Jericho, who basically wanted to put everybody over without going over himself, and therefore took away the impact of him putting people over. So
to a degree, but also like Jericho wasn't having the level of matches against people that Danielson had, which keeps Danielson propped up.
Valid.
I think Kenny Omega is one of the top 10, 20 wrestlers to ever exist. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about.
I think Kenny Omega was top tier 5 years ago.
So that being said,
shut up, Greg. Shut the fuck up, Greg. Get out of here. Get out of the show. Gone.
Now I'm over here. Now I'm back here.
Hey, so is there any? So you don't see any way Ospreay taking that L on the 21st, huh?
Against Bryan?
Yeah.
I don't think Bryan is gonna fucking beat Ospreay. I think they would have to. I don't know what they would have to do to convince Bryan to go over Ospreay. Maybe convince him that it's a series of matches, though it doesn't feel like this is a series.
I just don't see Ospreay getting pinned and or even losing until well after All In.
I get that.
Yeah,
I think a loss is with Ospreay having all this hype and having all of these 5-star matches. Like I think he's had 6 of them in like 3 months, which is fucking ridiculous. Hottest streak he's ever been on in his career. I think taking an L could really stop that momentum.
In fact, I'd argue that All In is going to be the first L he does take.
You think so? You think he's going to lose it All In?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of like the Cody thing, almost, except less.
It just needs
less
to be spaced
intense.
out enough.
In that there's so much going on in this company, right? It's like you give Ospreay the belt right now, and you kind of did the thing. Like, all right, we did it. Yeah. It's done. You know, like what do we do next?
This happened.
But to Greg's thing, like you have Ospreay lose in his home country with the AEW World Championship. It also brings to life like it being like too late for it to happen at another point, or it being less like less of a moment. Like if you do it at like World's End in like, like California or something, like You had his home fucking country right there. You had 70,000 fans. You didn't pull the trigger, but you pull it in fucking San Jose or wherever they're going to have World's End. It seems very anticlimactic.
But that's why you just do it at the other All In. They're going back to London, baby.
Yeah, I know.
He's there for 3 years. You don't
Yeah.
want to zenith. You don't want to plateau him 6 months in.
Yeah.
It's my thing. Like he just got here.
Yeah.
He's over as fuck. He's probably the top guy in the company. But
Wasn't that like a constant TNA problem?
yeah.
Sign big new star,
Yeah.
immediately get big shiny belt.
Yeah.
And on the first try, it'd be like
Yeah.
he's coming in 2 pay-per-views or the next pay-per-view, and he just
They did
wins
it
the
with-
world title.
It was a whole big deal about them doing it with Rob Van Dam and them taking the belt off AJ.
That was
Know who
bad,
they-
though.
you know
that
who
was
they did it?
rough.
You know what they did? You know what they did it with was they used the world title to break up beer money. And I've always hated that when they had Robert Roode and James Storm got his ass kicked in like a 10-minute match with Kurt Angle, and then all of a sudden he hits the last shots or the last call super kick.
The last ride.
Yeah, and then he pins Angle, wins the title. Then 2 weeks later, he comes out, he's hugging Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode hits him with the beer bottle and pins him. And then Bobby Roode actually had like two really good runs. But after that, James Storm was finished. He had like that one thing in NXT, and then he was supposed to go to WWE. They actually made AJ's theme song for him.
Yep.
And he was
He
like,
turned
no,
them down.
Yeah,
right?
he's like, no, thanks. Yeah, I don't want it.
Yeah.
No thanks. And then he went back to TNA, and he was all fat and like that. Like, you know, I
He
don't
was
want
a
to
cult
fat shame,
leader.
but yeah, but
I don't want to fat shame. It's too late, Mac.
I
It's
know.
too late.
Look, I'm a fat fuck too, so I don't care.
He's also
But,
got
yeah.
he's also got his real estate business going.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
They
It's
tend
like,
to.
it's like you can't,
It's
you
a wrestling
can't give it like that. That thing, like you didn't have to use the TNA World Title as a crutch to get to a beer money feud.
Can I
And
just
it
say though?
yeah,
I do think that like I don't have that big of an issue with using the world title to do that. My big issue with that is that they dropped the ball on James Storm.
Absolutely.
Because
Sure.
the idea of a tag team being so popular and so over in the company that you feel that they can hold a world title feud, that's actually that's a big honor. Like I was in a tag team and me and my boy, they were like, you guys are so fucking good that you're gonna feud for the world championship. I'd die. Like you're like, oh shit,
yeah.
we're awesome.
Yeah.
It's just
You
the,
guys
the
are so good
execution
together that the most
because
obvious main event program is you fighting each other.
it's you.
Yeah.
It's you guys.
Don't you
but-
consider
but-
like Storm and Rude became such like I hate to use the word, but basically like pillars of TNA.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
They had
matches.
a couple of good last man standing match, and then the Texas Death match, but like it lasted maybe like 3 months tops. You know.
And I don't know what it I don't know whose fault it was with the James Storm thing. Maybe he had maybe there were other factors, but it didn't work out. But I don't think that makes it an inherently thing to what they were trying to do. I see the vision. I see what they were trying for.
So do you think that Will Ospreay can hold on to the momentum, popularity, and the aura that he has around on him right now until All In 2025?
Yeah.
I think that
Absolutely.
Will Ospreay is so fucking talented that he got this momentum by simply existing. There wasn't even a big ball rolling of like he's been booked excellently. He's had this perfect storyline leading into whatever the fuck. It's a snowball of buzz that existed just because Ospreay is wrestling the way he wrestles.
Yeah.
I think if you want to keep it until 2025, the only thing you have to do, ironically, is to slow down how many matches he's having so that he doesn't kill himself
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
show comes.
Ospreay, this might be a fun opinion.
I bring
or
this up
observation.
while Max belly shows on screen.
Oh, sorry. I
This might
told
be
you I'm
just-
fat.
Yeah, this might be
Big
a fun
up
observation
For
to
the
make.
titty gang.
Ospreay is on the path to becoming the guy for the company that they wanted, that people wanted Year One Omega to be.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, at 100%. That's a good. I didn't think of that. I don't know that Kenny. And here's the biggest difference. Even though Ospreay is himself, Ospreay has said, like he's hurt too, so that's why he can't take. That's why he can't take indie dates anymore, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like no, he's not going to be taking indie dates anymore.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
It is. But I think that his body's probably in a better condition than Omega's was when AEW started. If you remember, Omega was half dead. Like he was broken. Remember, it affected his world title reign, and people were like, this isn't hitting the way I thought it would. And he was like, he's literally working with broken bones.
Yeah.
From the chase.
All kinds of things.
But we were also annoyed that he added Cody into that.
Oh, never forget. Somebody, the internet has taken to calling that like a love's triangle story. And I was like, I can't believe this. And I'm more angry because I can't disprove it. It's like, fucking motherfuckers. It's right there.
You know, that reminds me of
going with Ospreay though is the fact that he's got this genuine energy about him and he's happy to be there. And on top of that, that's something Tony Khan has really been seeking in someone is the fact that they're not going out of their way to say like, oh, I can't wait to go to WWE in a couple of years. But at the same time, like Ospreay, he's got a date tattooed on him. He got the attendance tattooed on him. Like this guy is. I hate to say it, but he's all in 100%
disputed.
with AEW.
He's so I was gonna say he's so fucking excited to be in AEW specifically too.
Yeah.
It's not like a situation where this is a young guy who never got a chance at WWE and this is the big stage I'm gonna make the best of it.
And they've definitely already given him a main event presentation.
Yeah. He had the choice. And they definitely gave him like a whole big ass. Tony knew what the fuck he was doing, man. He brought the dude into All In, and he's like, yeah, you'll be a marquee match. Massive fucking entrance, special entrance. Not only that, you'll go over. What the fuck? Why? There's no guarantee. There was no guarantee that would have worked out for them. He was just kind of treating Will Ospreay the way he thought Will Ospreay would want to be treated.
John, I have a question for you here. How do you feel about Ospreay already painting this match around dropping Danielson on his previously injured dome piece?
I actually retweeted like a sad
on his
cat.
Stack of dimes.
It's like a sad kitty looking out the window. Like Ospreay's really gonna fucking Tiger Driver Bryan Danielson. No.
Get him.
Listen, I like what he was saying because I remember the interview that he's referring to where Bryan asks like, was it worth it? So if people are complaining like, well, this story is just about them wanting to be the best. That's what every AEW story is about. First of all, what the fuck? What the stupidest fucking complaint I have ever heard?
People don't pay attention to the words people say.
I can't even begin to break that complaint down. I have so many different issues with it that I will just say you're stupid. The thing he wanted to make it a little more personal, so he goes to the interviewer. Bryan says, "Was it worth it?" I actually like that they are going to build the match around that. I know it's a dangerous spot, and I'm Bryan Danielson, but I have to believe if anybody in the universe can take that fucking move safely, it's got to be Bryan Danielson.
Go.
But
I have confidence that Tony can book Will after this match in a compelling storyline. I'm just afraid that he's going to go down that path of, I don't want to be in the Don Callis family anymore.
Yeah, that's great.
I know. I mean, I understand that, but but what I'm saying is like, I know AEW has more shows than Rev Pro, but Rev Pro did a storyline last year with Will Ospreay and Michael Oku, where Ospreay last year just beat the shit out of this kid, just toyed with him, like gave him the Stormbreaker like 8 times in a match, then refused to pin him, then went over to his girlfriend and like pie-faced his girlfriend, and then went back in and gave him the Stormbreaker again and ended up pinning him and retaining the title. Then in the middle of the year, they had a tag match where Ospreay pinned him again, and then Ospreay left and this kid won the heavyweight title, and then they just had that 5-star match where it was like pure cinema, where they had callbacks to the first match with Ospreay pulling his arm up, and then not being able to beat him, and then finally he tapped out Ospreay, and it was like this culmination of like this 2.5 year storyline that only involved maybe like 3 or maybe even 4 matches, you know. And it was so good because I know, like I said, Rev Pro doesn't run a lot of shows. Maybe they run like 2 or 3 shows every 6 months or something like that. But I think that's where Ospreay is. I think less matches, like seeing Ospreay every week, I think is going to maybe take the shine off of him a little bit.
There's some of that, but you have to consider how much they paid for him. There's a balance, like there's a real balance between the condition of the wrestler and like, I also gave you a couple of millions of dollars. So I kind of need you to perform a little more frequently. You know what I mean?
But he
actually addressed this. He said that he wants to test himself by not just wrestling, because you're not just going to wrestle every week. You'll be cutting promos. You'll be coming out here to talk and to do mic work, which he doesn't get to do a lot of. For a long time, people used to be like, but what about Ospreay's promos? So the only time he got to express that was in the fucking press conferences that not everybody watches. Yeah. So now he's able to come out like this week, where he came out and he cut that promo. That
was a really good promo.
Shit, is that
really good promo?
This is a brand new arena for Will Ospreay in the sense that he has to be a TV wrestler.
I think that in that same train of thought, I think that he actually he needs to, if there's one flaw in this great fucking wrestling, like this future legends armor right now, is that he doesn't know how to have TV matches. Like
probably true. Yeah.
Well, an 8 minute, like an 8 minute story that satisfies you and doesn't
require going your hardest.
Yeah, because
putting in for future weeks.
Yeah,
I worry that he's gonna try to have the Ospreay epic anytime he has a match on Dynamite.
Day.
And I wonder, and I don't want them to expose that, because having the Takeshita and Fletcher match back to back on TV, for me, I thought it was awesome. But I noticed people who don't know much about Ospreay go like, well, they did a lot of the same things they did on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Which, I mean, to me, I'm never going to agree with that, because I'm like, it's pro wrestling. Everybody has a moveset. They use their moves. Like, have you ever played a video game? But
you know what Takeshita's doing now? Not a spoiler alert, but he's now teasing the Brainbuster suplex El Generico Brainbuster in the match that he does. He did it. He tried with the person that he faced on Rampage this week. He didn't. He tried for it like 3 or 4 times. Like he's teasing it a lot, to the point where the guy next to me was like, "Oh, so this is going to be his thing where he's going to tease like dropping another wrestler on his head."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think that's great. Get that shit over. He almost killed somebody with it. They didn't die. Like Moxley did with the King Kong.
Feels like this absolutely feels like the kind of attitude they have in Japan, where it's like, oh, this move you did actually hurt a guy, so now you have to keep doing it, because why would you stop?
That's literally where the Tiger Driver 91 came from. It was an accident.
Andy Ushigoroshi.
So
David
came that way.
Every match that Ospreay has had in AEW so far, there's been none that were under 4.5 stars.
Yeah, of course. I was going to say, David brought up a good point from earlier in the conversation, where I was saying that people have an issue with Bryan and Ospreay wanting to be this wrestler, because I also was going to say that, like, that was one of the many things I was like, I don't even want to address it. Literally, in any fucking combat sport, literally, that is the entire point of working there. That's your life. I want to be the best, and if I'm not, I want to prove myself against the best. That is the basis.
The truth is that a lot of people who have grown up and have been subject to that WWE conditioning have probably never actually watched a combat sport in their life.
They don't watch anything. They don't watch anything else, honestly. David says Okada did well in Collision a TV match. Granted, he had that experience in TNA. I feel like Okada also, and that was what not just the TNA, even though he spent a long time there. He spent a long time being a young boy in a lot of places. In Mexico, in TNA under Ultimo Dragon. Fucking Osprey. I don't know that he's had. I just don't know that he has that kind of experience. The closest I can think of for him is like the New Japan multi-man tour matches. You know, like that's
Empire stuff, and
that's not the same as a singles.
No, it's not.
Fucking television match. So I mean,
but you really think there's going to be any time where Will Ospreay is going to have to go out there and wrestle for 8 minutes, though?
Yes, they better. Do you like seeing Will Ospreay on television?
I mean, I do, but I feel like Tony wants to keep him out there not as long as possible, but for more than 8 minutes, maybe like 12, maybe 15. Like you could, like honestly, I was just thinking about this earlier today. Matt Sydal wrestled on Ring of Honor, and I said to a guy next to me, I go, I saw him wrestle with the tag titles 17 years ago in Boston with Christopher Daniels. And he goes, really? He doesn't look that old. I said, yeah, 17 years ago. And I was thinking, I'm like, damn, Matt Sydal could have a really good television match with Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Matt Sydal can have a good television match with most people, honestly. Yeah. He's just, the problem is he's dry as fucking paint. Beyond that, Ospreay was signed to ROH in 2017. I remember seeing Will Ospreay versus Jay White when they were both babies in the Hammerstein Ballroom around that time. It had to be 2016, 2017.
Ospreay was the Ring of Honor World Television Champion for one day.
He was in fact. Yes, he was.
He beat Bobby Fish on night 1 of Reach for the Sky, and then he teamed with Bobby Fish the next night to wrestle the Young Bucks. Yeah, he wrestled. Then they wrestled for the tag titles the next night, and he lost.
That was during the big UK invasion back when Progress was still popping. Marty Scurll was coming over. Those are good times.
He was coming somewhere.
And Predators. He teamed with Marty Scurll, not Bobby Fish.
Oh, Marty Scurll. Sorry, yeah.
But we're not allowed to make Marty Scurll mentions on this show anymore.
The show
no, that's fine. We can mention it, but we just can't praise him because he's a predator.
Fish, though.
Funny Bobby Fish story. If you watch March Madness 2017, I was very drunk and I was sitting at the entrance ramp, and when I say very drunk, I was very drunk, and I leaned over to take a picture of him. And in my normal mind,
to put a visual on it, was this the one with your shirt off?
No, that was a different show.
You took your fucking shirt off.
It was. That's another story. But this story with Bobby Fish is that I was the Hammerstein Ballroom. They served like $12. They sold $12 Long Island iced teas, and I was like 3-4 of them in. So, this was like the second half of the show too. So I was like fucking wrecked.
Nick is like, oh no.
I lean over.
Islands, I'm like, oh.
Bobby Fish comes out, and I'm gone. But in my drunk mind, I was acting normal. I was just trying to get a picture with him. And when I watched the video back, it was borderline molestation.
No.
I don't know how. He didn't
Bobby,
I
come
don't
here.
know why he didn't just punch me in the eye. I'm just like, Bobby. I think I even dropped my phone over the railing. Like there's a video. I'm in the back of the video, like reaching, almost falling out. It was rough.
So,
is this also a show where you stole a picture with the Ring of Honor entrance?
Yes, but I also did that. I made a point to do that almost every time I went to Ring of Honor. I would go onto the ramp.
Security's great.
Hey, John.
They suck.
Do you remember when Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards had that one match against the Ascension in NXT?
Yes.
And they changed their names to like Craig Billington and like Eric Simpson or something like
Thomas
that, right?
Billington.
It was a Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
Homage.
That was the exact reason I wanted them to get signed, because I wanted Davey Richards to be Thomas Billington for like a year.
Funny story about that. Eddie Edwards a couple weeks after that, I'm at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I was talking to Kevin Steen a lot on Twitter. We like talked like every day. So I said, I'm going to be at the Hammerstein Ballroom. He said, oh, I'm going to be down getting an autograph. Come by. I'll give you a couple of free things. I said, okay, cool. So when I walked in, Eddie Edwards was there, and I had a rapport with Eddie Edwards. And I went up to him, and I was talking to him, and I said, I go, man, they really gave you a fucked up name in NXT. And he went, yeah. And then Kevin Steen yells from across the room. He goes, hey, Mack, what's your NXT name? Oh, yeah, that's right. Shut
What
the
the
fuck up.
fuck?
Those hearts.
Mac, what the hell?
It was
Mac
the
got
timing of
some
that.
reality warping shit going on over there.
Oh.
They hit it with the augmented reality.
Yeah. But to
Does-
finish the story, he goes, yeah, Mac, what's your NXT name? Oh, yeah, that's right. Shut the fuck up. In front of like 200 people. I get over to his table. I go, Kevin, what the fuck? And he goes, shut up about NXT. I don't want to hear any more about NXT. I was like, okay.
Do you guys remember what
Did you still get
their
your free
name
shit?
was?
Oh, yeah.
What their tag team name was in NXT?
What was their tag team name?
The American Pitbulls.
Yeah, the
Shut
American
the
Pitbulls,
fuck up.
Yep.
I hate this.
Unlike the other two
podcast
pitbulls, who were
over.
also incredibly American.
That's for you, Mac. David,
American male.
his voice.
Yeah. He went. Yeah.
Didn't they hurt somebody? Didn't they hurt somebody or get hurt?
No,
during
they had. I know there was a very shitty back body drop between him and I think Connor.
Somebody almost died, and I thought they were never called back.
Yeah, yeah. I remember someone almost landing on their head. Yeah.
It was ugly.
Yeah.
Where were we that we got all the way out here? I'm lost in a forest of conversation, and I can't get.
We were
back
talking
to the
about
path.
Will Ospreay.
Bryan Danielson. Will Ospreay was levels removed from what
Will
I was
Ospreay was a tangent from
talking
Danielson.
about.
Will Ospreay is the first branch of the tangents that came from Bryan Danielson not wanting the belt.
There we go. That's where we were meant to be. My fucking point was Bryan needs to hold the belt so that it can mean something. Well, not that it doesn't mean something, no, but so that what he wants to do can have the most impact possible. That's my thing. Bryan may not be aware of it, but the people in the company, it's their job to be aware of things like that. Jesus actually has a quote that I was referring to. Bryan's heart is in the right place, but here's the thing. It's kind of hard to pass the torch if you're not willing to hold it for even a minute. Goddamn truth. Bryan is scared of the responsibility. I've been there, Bryan. I don't like the pressure either.
I mean, that was the story with Eddie Guerrero's run with the world title. Is just a lot of stuff to deal with as the champ.
Oh shit! So this is the story, right? They fucked the move up, and then they told to take it home early. This being the American Wolves / American Pit Bulls. Isn't that funny how they were wolves in the wild, but when they come to WWE, they're domesticated.
Domesticated animals.
The American
they were told to take it home early, and fuck that. And that led to Eddie Edwards trapped in TNA for 10 years now. Fuck, David, you absolutely right. The timeline can't be disputed, can it? Shit, that's great. Moving on though.
Eddie just recently resigned too.
He did. I mean, where else is he gonna go, right? At this moment. To talk about Mercedes Moné coming to AEW specifically, the boss shows up here in the company. What are you feeling about this? What did you think? What did you guys think about her debut and her apparent direction? It looks like she's challenging for the TBS Championship first at some point.
We mentioned this earlier on the recap show, and being able to have like 4 or 5 potential matches there. Her goings with Riho, her goings with Willow. The potential tag match there again with Willow against Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and then of course matches with Sky Blue and Julia Hart.
I wanted to say, even though it actually isn't really a comment about Mercedes Moné so much. Okay, bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Kudos to Julia Hart, who in making one swift move has put herself in a position where she got a brand new gimmick with an over program, got herself a championship belt, and now by utter happenstance is now basically in a program with Mercedes Moné.
I know, right?
Way to just book yourself into the path of righteousness.
Meanwhile, Brian Pillman is literally in the middle of a D push on NXT.
I know.
And Griff Garrison is still game.
Griff Garrison doesn't even exist. He gets paid every appearance he makes.
Did it come across on TV like she was stalling and waiting for somebody's music to hit?
Who?
Mercedes during her initial promo, because we were standing there because literally she did her dance for like 2 minutes. Then she gets on the microphone and she says, "Oh my God, this is everything that I've ever wanted. I started here when I was 10 years old and made my debut when I was 16 in chaotic wrestling right down the street." And then she would stop and then literally say the same thing again. I know that. I don't know what that is, but
You're farting.
no, I'm not. I wish I was. So and then she go, "Oh, my heart is beating out of my chest. Thank you so much." And then stop again and go, "Oh, this is going to be boss. This is Boston." And I'm just like, is there somebody's music? Is she stalling?
I think she's just doing that WWE style, like not even just WWE style, but just it's a promo technique. You know, you kind of just say a thing and just let it sit. Sometimes some people take longer than others, and some people do it too fast and they don't give you any room to react to it.
Did it seem like a couple weeks ago that Serena Deeb was going to be her first opponent because she said that she won? Yeah. Now they pivoted.
Really did. And then she disappeared from television entirely.
No gatekeepers challenging her instead.
She took a picture with Sting on her Instagram and now she's gone.
I was really sold on Serena Deeb being Mercedes' first feud for a number of reasons. First, it's just it was the perfect person to have her first real match within the company. She can also lose, and it's not like a big deal. It's not an issue. It doesn't hurt anybody. And I mean, she's like a big vet in the fucking locker room. It's a perfect person for you to come and test your mettle against in this new company. Yeah. But fuck me, if they wanted to go to Julia Hart first, and I mean, in a way, I get the Willow thing first and foremost. Like, I understand, like Mercedes and Willow, they have the pre-existing situation. Willow beat her for the belt, so I'm sure they want to head towards that. But I didn't see them doing the whole team up first, and then she goes after the TBS belt. I didn't see that coming. Actually, when she first came out, I was a little disappointed because I forgot Julia had that belt. I was like, "Oh, is this what we're doing? What the fuck?" And then I realized, "Oh, she's gonna take the belt off Julia."
When the lights went out, someone yelled, "Spooky Bitches Incorporated."
Oh my god!
When the lights went out, we're watching at home, and this is such a big event that I thought like, oh god, like what are they doing? I thought
we thought it was another debut. Yeah, we thought so too.
And then it fell flat when they revealed Julia. So I was like, oh no,
well, it wasn't Julia. It was Sky Blue at first, and people were like, "Who the fuck is that?"
No, on TV.
Like,
on
TV goes straight to Julia.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
it's Julia.
The lights come on, and the TV is just like on Julia Hart at the rampway, and then Willow goes down.
No, it was so what I saw was, you guys saw my angle. The lights came back on. Sky Blue hopped over the barricade, slid into the ring, and gave Willow a chop block, and then started beating on her. And that's when Julia Hart walked over and slowly walked in the ring and started beating on her too.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because you were on the Sky Blue side. Definitely saw that first. Good lucky you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I love, by the way,
where are you going with all that ass?
Yeah, I love being there live, seeing these TV gimmicks happen right in front of you. One of my favorites was watching like the House of Black run to get into their positions for the next pose.
They're I think Mercedes, a little bit of the promo was kind of it wasn't fucked up. It wasn't fucked up on me. I was fine with that because then she likes to bounce around, and it gives her like a thing to bounce around.
Gunther is going to,
and it gives her a chance to sort of think about her next couple of words.
Like.
That theme, it sounds like Gunther's theme in the beginning.
Yeah.
The only thing that sours this run is that she was so willing to be like, I can't, like, I'll definitely be back in WWE. Like, I get it. Like, I know that. I don't think it needed to be said. It gives this like a end date, and it just started. Like, I don't want to know it got canceled. Why would you say that? Like, I at least let me live on the hope that maybe, like she'll be here for the next who knows how long. But she's basically saying, I'll only be here for the next 3 years. That's how it felt. And then obviously she's just a person, so who knows what can happen from here till then, and what will change her mind or whatever. But it felt like when she came on the fucking microphone and she talks about how happy she was to be here and like I am home. I was like, all right, I don't think you believe that, but okay.
Oh yeah, by
I
the way,
trust
those
you.
event only shirts sold out in an hour.
I can only imagine. Saw they
Oh,
released an
dude.
event exclusive shirt, and then someone posted a picture of the line, and it was like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people waiting at the
Yeah.
merch stands.
Yeah,
When-
it sold out
when-
because Bobby Cruz announced it. Because Bobby Cruz did the Rampage taping, and he goes, "You can still buy them." And then someone in the front row was going like this, waving their hands and going like this, and he brought and he goes, "What?" And he goes, "They're sold out." And he goes, "Oh, I guess they're all sold out." And that was literally like maybe an hour and a half after they announced them.
Yeah,
just
when
throwing
we
trash.
when me and my
Boom.
girl went to the Christmas show, they're just like, yeah, don't even ask for the Punk New York City shirts. They're gone.
Oh, same. Anytime
you.
you have a Punk,
They had the
Chicago
big
show.
business. They had the big business shirts I sent to John in the group text. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it
It's
had
not the same.
It said that I was there, 3/15/2024.
That's how you know some shit is going down. I did think that maybe they made a mistake in building this like the CM Punk thing. I think you robbed yourself of some buzz by not like they did the entire Punk template, right? It's just the whole we're not gonna mention her name.
We'll allude to her.
We'll make the heavy.
We mentioned the
hints.
events. We make several allusions. We
But-
put it in an area you can easily connect to her.
But
Like
check
when
this shit
Darby-
out, man.
Like when Darby said he wanted to face the best in the world, like 2 weeks before he debuted, you know,
God, that shit annoyed me.
real
She
fucking subtle.
No, all subtlety.
Fuck me. I lost my whole train of thought. What were we even talking
Sorry,
about?
John.
Again?
Nuance
me.
and subtleties.
About
You were
the,
talking about giving her the
Sasha.
CM Punk.
That's
deal.
right, Mercedes. So check this shit out. There were, as of this morning,
Hmm.
there were like 7,600 tickets sold to this show.
Mhm.
She tweets, Bosstown. 1,200 tickets sold.
Wow.
Same day. What
Same
the
day?
fuck? Same day. They end up
Dude, that-
crossing. Oh, they end up crossing the blood and guts gate, passing it off a fucking tweet. So hold on a sec. You probably should have announced her straight up like a week ago. You probably would have had a 20K fucking building right now. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe a mistake. Like Mercedes is great, but this wasn't the 7 years, the return of a person out of retirement that you never thought you'd see in the ring again.
Right.
This was like a cool thing, you know, like I don't.
Whole rumor that could have easily potentially not happened.
Yeah.
Which
So I
is backed up by the fact that there's always been years of CM Punk rumors,
Yeah,
about a thing to happen, and then it just doesn't.
it was deemed impossible.
They
So
had the upper balconies open.
I do feel like that was a mistake, but you know what? It happened, but she came. It ended up being okay. They crossed it. They basically got 10K people in the building. Great shit. She had a great debut promo. I thought she looked great. She ripped off that little dress thing. I was like, oh, Mercedes, good
Old
lord.
girl's just wearing lingerie.
I don't even know. She had the whole like it's a weird pelvic thing going on. I was like, oh god, you're giving me a heart attack.
Dropping it low on the apron.
Oh hell no, god damn. No, but so she actually comes back out later and she changed like her whole outfit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ask why because I imagine if you ask her why, she'll just be like, because I'm the boss. Like, okay.
CEO.
I get it. We so shit, yeah, TBS champion.
I
best
don't even
move
think she
probably.
answers you. I think she just does the dance.
You know what kind of sucks? You know what kind of sucks about her being TBS champion is that we don't get like when I imagine Mercedes as TBS champion, it was supposed to be the Jade Cargill match. That was the old graphic.
Oh,
That
you
was the
still
old
thinking
weird-
about
yeah.
that?
That was the thing, like fuck my life. How do you lose that? Now Jade's in WWE doing
Nothing.
nothing.
Well, how do you
A lot
lose
of
the
nothing.
whole? How do you lose
Sweet.
the whole Julia match as well? You
Well,
know?
well, that is
You
a little, at least there's a massive circumstance. Like we were there, we almost had it. But fucking ankles and shit.
Fucking ankles and shit.
Ankles and nuts. That's a quote that's gonna go on a shirt now.
Fucking ankles and shit, dog.
Yeah.
Speaking of quotes that go on
Can't be
shirts,
trusted.
check out the Dirt Sheet Radio Shopify store where you can buy merchandise of all kinds, including pop
Including fucking
culture,
ankles and shit.
anime. They're currently linking Dune items. Last I checked, so
We gotta
go
get those
check
ankles
that
and shit
out.
up there soon too.
Ankles and shit.
Ankles and shit.
Get ready, it's coming.
We also had earlier in the week WWE heavily not teasing, but setting story points in place that would make the audience believe that Chad Gable was well on his way to face Gunther at WrestleMania and avenge his poor crying daughter. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
It's a swerve, bro.
Sami Zayn won the excellent gauntlet match that they had on WWE Raw.
Was it?
And it was
really
WWE WWE gauntlet matches are actually really good. They just kind of they just kind of put 3 matches on Raw and then they give a gauntlet match an hour. It's like the best thing they could fucking do. And it was good. It was good. It was a lot of good workers in there. They all did what they had to do. The match ended surprise win. I didn't see that shit coming, but I started seeing people turning on Sami Zayn because they wanted Chad Gable so much. I was like, oh, this is fucking. I think it's so. Chad Gable was so positioned to win or to at least fight Gunther at WrestleMania that I don't think it's a coincidence. Like, there's no way they fumbled this bad. I refuse to believe that. I'm fairly sure he's going to get inserted into this situation one way or another. Maybe a night 2 match, maybe a triple threat match. I don't fucking know, but they made such a point to say, like, he's fighting for the honor of his crying baby girl.
Dude, they literally put out cinematic vignettes about it.
I know, in the same night. So you would think like he has to win, but no. And yeah, a bunch of the guys were really mad on the Raw recap show. Very sad, solemn, fucking open.
Did anybody make mention that? Did anybody make mention that Gable's shoulder wasn't down?
I did actually. I brought that up on the post show. I'm not on the post show, but I do direct the post show, so I pop in and out. And I did pop in with that bit of information for them. Maybe because it was so close that I don't know if that can be a performance. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might have just not had his shoulders on the floor by accident. But they can certainly make that into a story if they wanted to. If for some reason they were so fucking stupid that they actually didn't have Gable penciled in for an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, this could be their in. But I refuse to believe that Triple H and Nick Khan and their fucking new little regime is that dumb. I can't.
Especially with 2 nights to fill.
No way. There's just no way. Chad Gable's going to walk out of WrestleMania with that belt one way or another.
So do you think if they do a triple threat, Gunther doesn't get pinned?
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Like, what else do you do there?
Which is interesting in the sense because if we are adding in Gable, it feels like the entire point is for Gable
for him
to get that pin over Gunther finally.
Yep.
At the same time, the other smart thing to do the other obviously smart thing to do is to not pin Gunther so Gunther can go on to the World Heavyweight Championship unscathed. So
I was seeing some people also mentioning the concept of Sami and Chad get a rematch of sorts. Winner will take on Gunther night 2. And
I guess because his shoulder was up or whatever, but
there's controversy.
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly do that, and they had a great 5 minutes at the end of the gauntlet. It was like very intense, very good shit.
Was very good. Yeah.
It made me think that Gable versus Sami Zayn was the feud after WrestleMania. Like that's that's how I thought. That's how I felt coming out of that. So it made me think that not only was the triple threat coming, like Sami Zayn would turn at some point. Not that he was a good heel, but it just meant it just felt like that's what was coming. Like heel Sami Zayn versus babyface Chad Gable over the spring. in
I also
singles.
can't help but think like, to that idea, it almost seems dangerous because in my head I'm going like, man, so how many matches on night one can you put that are specifically made just to set up night two? Like if you only had a night one ticket, you were fucked.
You know what though? I don't know if I have that big of a problem of doing things on night one to set up for night two. If only because it is.
I'm fine with one of them.
Yeah, like I don't think the whole show should be cliffhangers for the next night.
Yeah.
But I do think you should do some things to connect the event. Otherwise, it kind of feels weird.
They are literally doing a tag match to connect it to night two.
Yeah,
right.
Shit
That's what I mean.
like that.
Yeah.
So like doing another singles match to connect it to night two seems a bit like, okay, we're kind of.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't even have to be connected. If they did two singles matches, it would be like the winner of night one faces the night two challenger.
And it's like quality guys too that would be wrestling, so like it's not a total loss anyway.
Yeah, I think Gunther's a big boy.
definitely not.
Gunther's young and strong. He can wrestle 2 nights. He'll be all
Young as
right.
I think, but what was up with that? What was up with that promo a couple of months ago where Sami was like pointing at Seth and pointing at the title and saying, "I'm going to be a world heavyweight champion one day," and he's like, "My path to WrestleMania, I will face you," and all this shit, and then they just pivot to the Intercontinental title when it's so clear that they should be doing Sami, Drew, and Seth, and Gable and Gunther.
That's what I thought. Not only what I
The
thought.
Rock happened.
That's what they were. Yeah, that's what they were fucking teasing. Although I don't know that because with the Rock and Cody thing, I don't know that Sami Zayn would have ever fit in the world title picture anyway because CM Punk and Seth Rollins were there. Oh, well, no, they could have transferred the belts over to Drew McIntyre, and then Punk and Rollins would have just had no belt in their WrestleMania match. Because they were doing Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre took Sami Zayn out. He's out for the winter. He comes back at the Royal Rumble. He goes after Drew McIntyre. He loses to him on Raw. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm depressed. I'm gonna fucking die. I don't have a WrestleMania match. Oh my God, woe is me." But
I don't think so because they were making such a big deal out of Punk getting the main event at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that's right. So he probably wouldn't have had the world title. But
it is Punk.
He after the Rumble he faced fucking Drew McIntyre, and I think Drew McIntyre also cost him a match against Nakamura. And then all of a sudden, the feud disappeared. They were no longer involved with each other. And Sami Zayn was still talking about championships.
Yep.
And they shifted him over to the Intercontinental belt. So because of all the bullshit going on, I think that they were just testing possibilities. And they just went with a whole other direction.
What works.
Motherfuckers. Yeah, I would have enjoyed seeing Sami Zayn win the world title, honestly. But Drew McIntyre with the world title isn't that bad either. I don't have any urge to see Seth Rollins retain, unfortunately for him.
I actually think there's no other answer other than Drew getting the belt because
And
not
he
only
deserves
like yes, but like to me watching the program and like watching not only Drew's sort of righteous indignation about the whole like stop concerning yourself with this other crap that has nothing to do with you, but also like you can't be the big massive ball of Scottish rage that Drew McIntyre is and lose to a guy that had to wrestle The Rock and Roman Reigns the previous night.
Yeah,
I think
you become more when you're Jets.
Yeah.
So cool.
There's that. I kind of see Drew McIntyre coming out at the end of the match and fucking Rollins, and that fucks Cody, and Cody loses. But that's my old.
Well, especially what he said on Raw. He's like, "I'm not even thinking about you right now."
He's like, "I'm gonna do the Heidenreich to you."
Oh my God.
You'll think about me after you hear my poems.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah. Once I push you up against the wall of the backstage
No, I
area.
wasn't trying to take it that far. It was the implication. The implication.
All right, we're moving back.
The implication that something might happen. Let me ask you a question, John. Too. I think with guys, and I don't know Nick's fandom or Greg's fandom from back in the day, but me and you used to go to Ring of Honor shows all the time in New York. That's where we met.
I went to plenty.
Yeah, but I think that we are burdened with rooting for these guys like Sami Zayn, who, when he was in NXT, you never looked at that guy and was like, oh, he's going to be world champion one day. But our fandom from back in the day, if we had our WWE right now, it would be Kevin Steen, Universal Champion, Sami Zayn is the World Heavyweight Champion, DIY would be the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, all of our indie favorites, because we've been following these guys.
I had my way, those two would never have teamed again.
we know like their plight, but these younger WWE fans like 16, 17 never watched them in the indies and don't have these, for lack of a better term, romantic like feelings towards these guys in their career, like their romantic feelings towards their career, because we've been following them for so long. So like when I go, no, Sami Zayn should be in the world title picture, Kevin Owens should be always in the world title picture, fuck the United States title, fuck the Intercontinental title, people are like, bro, they're not on that level. And I'm like, yes, the fuck they are. But that's just me being burdened with seeing them wrestling in front of 200 people at the Hammerstein Ballroom. I know there's more than 200 people. Let's just say
the experienced perspective that
well,
goes
there's
into it.
There's always a little bit of that when it comes to the way I think about certain wrestlers in that company or in any company. But with this,
my issues with this go back years.
I mean, well, my thing with this is that you've already set it up a certain way. Like, I just mean this in like a truly like a full objective storytelling way. Like, you already planted all the seeds for Sami Zayn to end up in the world title feud and match, and then you shifted out of nowhere. So like, that's not my issue. It's not like it's the second place belt and Sami should be world champion. It's more like you already did the thing and now you done fucked it up. So
you put the thing on screen and then you're just like,
good fucking luck.
I meant to say that's like I've had this problem for years, not just because of like Ring of Honor, but like I'm sitting and watching SmackDown and watching like the baddest motherfucker I've ever known in pro wrestling, Taz, just be completely pitched out by the roster.
I don't like to think about it.
I don't want to think about that.
Seconds.
I don't like to think about Taz
just dominating.
But I mean, you can go back, like honestly, you can go back years and decades, and you can pluck a person out like just like Taz. Like you go back and you pluck out Vader. You go back and you pluck out Dusty. You go back and you can just keep on going and going. Harley. They all go through the fucking magic portal and they come out the other side cartoon characters. It's the worst feeling in the universe for a fan of them outside of there. And that's why
for John it would be getting the CG makeover in Chippendale.
Jesus. It's more, I felt it when, this is part of the reason why I love Bryan so much is that he went through the portal and he somehow fought the effects. Like, I am a cartoon character, but I refuse to go without a fight.
Oh, do you mean Bazooka Kaboom?
Oh my god!
He fucking made that shit work for him in such a way, and then he came out of the other side of the portal, this ultimate super version of himself, like the sick ass American Dragon Super Saiyan version of himself.
Yeah, the Super Serum.
Incredible.
To his credit, also, I'd argue, for lack of a better term, because the pun is going to be there, I thought AJ did phenomenally well getting through that portal as well.
Yeah,
he did.
Want none.
Yeah,
and he did it. He did it a little more directly. Bryan had to deal with a lot of bullshit, a lot of garbage. AJ got there, and they had an idea of him, but he quickly changed based on his own performances. Like, we didn't know we had a fucking. We didn't know we had a fucking quarterback here. Like, oh shit!
Yeah. You could be a company man. Okay.
AJ's one of the few guys to make it through that portal and like kind of still be himself.
Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%.
It does happen on occasion.
Can I just shift gear and just for 1 second? So I don't watch. No. It's not very far off.
It's ECW. The format here is useless.
We were talking about Drew McIntyre earlier, and Drew McIntyre's player haters ball extraordinaire approach to the world heavyweight title.
Happened.
Yeah. So one of the things that WWE does really well sometimes is they sneak in very good like callbacks and very good storytelling. a couple weeks ago, Drew McIntyre faced Jey Uso on Raw, and Uso was about to hit. Yeah, main event Jey Uso, and he was about to hit the splash, and the Bloodline came out and took out Jey, and Drew sat there and watched them take out Jey, and then he hit the Claymore kick and won. And I saw somebody on Reddit say Drew just became everything he hated. He just won with Bloodline interference.
Yeah.
And that's when he started kind of like not going off the deep end a little bit, but kind of like becoming more like aggressively like obsessed. And the guy was like, he did the Jey Uso, even though he wanted to do it to Jey Uso, even though he wanted to take out Jey Uso for everything that he did to him, he did to Jey Uso what Jey Uso essentially, not Jey Uso so much, but like Solo Sikoa did to him at Clash at the Castle. And I was like, wow, that's such a fucking like great nuance and like just a perfect like cherry on top to like this Drew McIntyre character. Like, I'm willing to do anything to be world heavyweight champion, include compromise my morals, and like basically like lose the plot.
Those nuanced moments too happen like a lot more recently, I'd say, but like over the years you could see those too. Like, again, I'm always going to call back to this Survivor Series 1998. The seeds were planted throughout the night and the weeks leading up to it that The Rock was going to turn, but it caught everyone off guard. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I just love nuances in wrestling. I like callbacks, and it really makes my heart happy. Like there was a moment tonight at Big Business where they started the match outside, and the referee's counting. He's going 8, and fucking Wardlow just takes Joe, rolls his body under the bottom rope, rolls him back outside, and just starts beating him down again. And I'm like, yes, I need smart wrestlers in my wrestling.
They'd have to be smart people.
Unfortunately, this is pro wrestling.
Smart wrestling does not compute. No equal.
Yeah, I know.
The WWE Hall of Fame class actually leaked entirely a week ago. Right after the Heyman announcement, the rest of this leaked, and it's been solidly accurate ever since.
Oh, Leah Maivia, wow.
Yeah, The Rock's.
I didn't see this list. Wow.
Thunderbolt Patterson and Bray Wyatt. Finally. Great list. I think that there was a report that The Rock would have a lot of influence on this year's Hall of Fame. And then WWE refuted the report, though. They claimed that that's not true. And then they announced that his grandma's going in the Hall of Fame. Who's never fucking wrestled in this company at all. So I was like, oh, okay.
But
that's
she promoted, supposedly.
In this company? In the WWF?
They had a relationship with Vince.
They've let a lot of people in who've never done anything in that company.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. A fucking random ass Grandma Maivia out of nowhere the year The Rock came back into the board, and then for them to decline.
His grandmother?
Was that the same lady?
Yeah, I think it was.
No way.
Yeah. There was a rumor going around that The Rock never wanted to face Shawn Michaels in WWF when they had the little window that they.
Well, that's more than a rumor.
Because Shawn Michaels,
Chad Frost.
When Leah Maivia was booking, I forget what company it was. Shawn Michaels like blew her off and wouldn't listen to her and was very rude. And the grandmother went back and told The Rock, and The Rock was like, "Well, I'm never fucking with that guy ever again."
It also helps that they treated him like shit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, there are several different versions of the story of why Rock don't fuck with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
but that's the one that like everybody tells, like wrestlers, commentators, everybody.
Okay, see, the one I've always heard was that basically Brett took him under his wing, and because they fucked with Brett, The Rock don't fuck with them.
Brett is a lie. Brett is a liar. The Rock is a liar. None of that shit is true.
Greg, you know what? But the best part about that is I heard something completely different from all of that. Is just like,
oh my God,
The Rock having to deal with coming up as Rocky Maivia, and all of a sudden the clique is doing clique things and trying to mess with this promising upstarting rookie because Shawn wants to keep him down. Shawn wants to maintain that title. Doesn't want to lose that smile at all either.
That's about how I imagine it went down. Honestly, it's the
somewhere
clique being the
Undertaker
clique.
stands in the back, wrapping his hands.
Yeah, but how long?
But not doing shit, you pussy ass
after...
motherfucker.
Yeah, but wasn't it only like let me see. So it was November, December, January. It was only January, February, March. And so it was only 6 months after The Rock debut that Sean went bye-bye.
96, 97. Sean left in 98. So
Oh,
it
did he
actually
leave
is a lot. Yeah, he
Oh,
left
it
in
is a
March
long time.
98.
Okay, I'm
It's
thinking it was
actually a long
97.
time.
Okay, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
long time to be
Yeah.
a bully, baby.
Yeah,
Rock-
yeah.
I
Rock-
mean, even just 1 month is enough if you deal with someone like Shawn Michaels at
Rock
that point.
was under the ring and just pushed the casket a little bit.
I was at WrestleMania 14. You'd think I would know that. I'm fucking dumb. Sorry.
It was in your area. No, was it in Boston?
Yep, it was at the
It
Boston
was.
Garden.
It was.
Stone Cold.
Philadelphia is the next year.
I saw Mike Tyson make the fastest count in history like he was a special ref in 2K14.
1, 2, 3.
I recently showed the main event of WrestleMania 14 to my roommate because I showed him the very instance where Shawn gets hurt in the casket match, and
Yeah.
then I was just like, okay, you have to watch WrestleMania 14 now. You are going to watch a man's performance deteriorate right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
It was
like-
sir.
Like
By the way-
Sean's high on adrenaline and cocaine in the beginning of that match.
And it all runs out and dies about midway through, and then he's like a dead ass out drunkard at the end of the match,
In
barely able to
fucking
take that
pain.
stunner.
Like the thing I always point out is like in the beginning of the match when Austin goes down, like Sean bends over to pick him up. When you get late into the match, Sean is just doing squats because his back can't fucking move.
Help,
Hey,
Hunter, help.
by the way, the other day, my buddy had wrestling trivia at the brewery that he owns,
Nice.
and I wasn't able to go because I had to work. But he said if I walked in, he just would have been like, "Nope, get out, get the fuck out. Nope, you're not in this." Because it was
Winner
such
as well.
ringer.
Yeah, and then I went last week and I was like, let me see the questions. And it was literally like 25 questions. I got one question wrong. And the question was, who broke Mr. Perfect's undefeated streak when he first started in WWF? I said it was Bret Hart, and it wasn't Bret Hart.
Was it Hogan?
It was Hogan.
Of course it was.
Because Hogan got to him just before Bret did.
Yep,
As
With
Hogan
the,
would.
with the belt and the
Yep.
smashing and the
yep. Guess who
The theoretical
Guess who was his
hardcore
sec-
title.
guess who his second loss was to? Brutus the
Uh,
Barber Beefcake.
wow.
Oh, fuck off. I hate this.
Alright.
I hate Hogan. I hate Hogan. I hate his crew. I hate the Nasty Boys. I hate Brutus the Barber. I hate Jimmy Hart too. You didn't do shit, but I hate you. Just for
come on, baby.
standing next to him.
The disciple.
Who just did that Jimmy Hart impression?
Me.
That was beautiful.
Oh, come on, baby. Don't say that. I have to hit you with my megaphone.
So I think I think I wanted
never
to
thought-
say about the
Go for it.
I was gonna say about the Hall of Fame that I thought that with Vince gone,
Oh, yes,
like
yes.
it's always been a thing about, the Hall of Fame is just what Vince wants it to be. Like if you don't get it unless Vince wants you in. But Vince is gone. So
Wasn't there
I
a
was
joke
thinking
that he put his driver in it?
he
He
would.
did.
I'm sure he did.
James Dudley.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a good man.
Is there going to be
He
a
didn't
Warrior
snitch on
Award this
any
year?
of me. No, with
Probably.
Dana gone. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, is
how
she
did
gone?
do that? Yeah,
Yeah,
they
she's gone.
fired
They
her.
released her,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the
That's
Vince
still
McMahon
doing it,
award
by the
now.
way.
Oh, God.
no.
Can it be
Dedicated
the,
to
can
his
it,
memory.
can it be
no.
the fucking Chad Gaspard Award, please, for Christ's sake?
I support
That's
that.
fine.
It should, but
Yeah.
they would have to care about Shad first,
Oh,
But-
Jesus
but-
Christ.
motherfuckers.
But we'd
Yeah.
also have
Prime Time
to
needed
we'd
a
also
tag
have
title
the
shot.
chance
They
to
won it.
we'd also have the chance to make fun of the fact that Shad Gaspard once got the Shad Gaspard award.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
god.
Yeah.
The
That's pretty
I just
decent,
wanted-
but
I
Shaq
wanted to
Gaspard,
say
a
the-
much better person than Ultimate Warrior.
this fucking this Hall of Fame should be put up to a vote. We're at that. We're way past the
A
point of
vote?
Vince McMahon. Like it's
Interesting.
a whole new fucking world. Get all the old motherfuckers that you have on your legends contracts. Have them do their vote. Have them do fucking.
Can you trust those people?
No, but it's also like, can you trust just Triple H and The Rock to just pick whoever the fuck they want? Like it's
I
the
trust
same
them more
shit.
than I would trust the headbangers with that vote.
Yeah.
You make a vote
Yeah.
though, like it's a vote. So I mean, there's a majority. It doesn't have to just be the wrestlers. I mean, I'm sure you give more. You give some executives, some fucking people that actually know what they're talking about, possibly some historians. You know, like there's a way to gather a group of worthy. Oh goodness, I shouldn't have clicked that
Oh
one.
no.
I missed it.
There's a way to create a committee, and I think a committee of voters would be a lot more like it would go to making this Hall of Fame a lot more legitimate because it's always
Oh, they
it's
don't give a
always
shit
has
about
that
that.
asterisk. It's
Yeah,
always
they
had
don't-
that asterisk. No, I know they don't care. It's just a show, but it's just the Hall of Fame is just like it's a performance. You got old dudes selling their ring on eBay and. Nobody gives an actual shit about it because for all these years, it's literally just been a list of people that Vince decided is okay. But Vince is gone. So
Yep.
I really feel like it
Some
should
of
be a
which are
committee.
agreeable.
Sometimes.
With the Leo Maivia thing, going back to that topic, this just reminded me of the big dispute that made Gordon Soley leave WCW.
What's that?
What was that?
Randy Savage wanted Angelo Poffo in the Hall of Fame. Gordon did not want that because he saw Angelo as just not being of the caliber of someone that deserved to go in the WCW Hall of Fame. So they threw Angelo in there anyways, and then also put Gordon Soley into that Hall of Fame class just as kind of like here, let's make it up. Angelo can go in, Gordon can go in, but Gordon was not happy about that, and that's what led to Gordon Soley leaving.
Pussy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pussy shit. Yeah. Like you're in the Hall of Fame, dude. Who cares? Like be a professional. We got to work with people that we don't like sometimes. Be a professional.
Didn't they induct the entire Poffo family as one?
Well, what's his name?
The Genius?
Leap and Lanny said that he wanted
Or that?
the Genius, Leap and Lanny. Yeah, Lanny Poffo said that Macho Man said he did not want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame unless his father and him were inducted.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of another thing too. Speaking of Angelo Poffo, they did the Legends Battle Royal in like '87.
Mm-hmm.
And the first cause of tension one of the first causes of tension with Randy and Vince was the fact that they didn't contact Angelo Poffo to be a part of that Legends Battle Royal.
Oh, really?
Randy's real hard on that heavy handed on that Poffo thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess I know they're I know they're probably not true, but the rumors with Randy and Stephanie.
Oh, geez.
And all that happy horse shit, well, not happy, but all that horse shit. Yeah, man, it just seemed like because the rumors were that Randy wanted to transition back into a wrestler and have a 1-year feud with Shawn Michaels, where it would be Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then
Survivor Series?
I don't know if it was. I think it might have been 3. So I think it might have been WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then the next year's WrestleMania, where he would finally put over Michaels. They go 1, and then Michaels would finally get over at the next WrestleMania. And
which is a 1-year program that now takes 3 months.
Yeah, and now but Vince was like, nope, I don't want that. You're too old. We're going with the new generation, which included the new generation included wrestlers that were over 40 at the time. He had Bob Backlund running around there in like 94 at the age of 55, but Randy
he finally convinced him to turn heel.
Yeah. But I loved Randy Savage more than I loved Hulk Hogan growing up, and I thought that Randy didn't get his flowers, and it was taken away from us way too soon. I would have loved to, heard Randy on like podcasts now and shit like that,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the big thing too, was with taking away all that Slim Jim's money from Vince.
Oh my God. Did you see the fucking commercials?
I remember Lanny talking about
Diesel?
that pissed off Vince more than losing Savage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He took it to WCW with them, but there was that overlap where they tried to do it with Diesel, Ultimate Warrior, Bam Bam Bigelow. Look up those shits on YouTube, dude. They're awful. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Slim
like,
Jim
"Oh,
ads with the other guys.
yeah, with the Ultimate Warrior. He's like, snap into a Slim
I think
Jim."
I remember the Warrior ones, but I don't remember
Yeah.
Diesel.
No, Diesel was like 95, I want to say, like when he was champion.
Yeah.
They tried it with him. It was like two kids sitting in a room, and he came busting through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man. And it was just, he's just like, yeah, kids, snap into a Slim Jim. Like Kevin Nash, I don't care about anything, but I actually care about everything, and I'm really paranoid.
Wear a black glove so I know you're with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Nash recently said that he denied that he passed up a chance to go to Sting's final match because he had too much respect for like what the WWE has done for him. And it was like, dude, you didn't have to be on camera. He just wanted you there. Like, this isn't Vince WWE anymore. They're not gonna shit on you or like disparage your name for going to an AEW event. Like, Rob Van Dam works for AEW right now. He's in 2K24. They didn't try to wipe him off the planet.
Yeah.
Look at
Also,
the
the
women
dude
that were present tonight.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
the
like
dude
Bailey-
that works there is your homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy in charge is your boy.
Yeah. Like, I look at it this way, like, there's so much tribalism in wrestling right now, and it's being perpetuated by the old generation. Like, people listen to what stupid fucking asshole, and I hope he hears this, Glenn Gilberti says. They listen to what Val Venus says. They listen to what Kevin Nash say. They listen to what fucking stupid dickhead, hopefully he's in a pine box soon, Jim Cornette says. Like,
The people who are listening to what Val
we
Venus
can't
has
do
to say are
that.
doing it to make fun of him.
Were you talking about that whole ass motherfucker Kevin Nash?
We were talking about Kevin Nash and other people like Glenn Gilberti and Val Venus perpetually.
I don't think he's as bad as them yet.
He thinks the older guys are perpetuating the tribal war.
Yeah, they're perpetuating tribalism.
Because they are. I mean, I always say that tribalism isn't like it's a fucking part of humanity. Like, we are tribalist creatures. We look for groups that have similar interests because it makes us feel wanted and welcome. Hello.
I'm here. Hey guys.
So
how's it going?
So I don't never think that tribalism is inherently bad or anything. It's so natural that I think some people just don't know how to be aware of it, and some people just don't care. Some people it's something to be proud of. Kevin Nash is fucking liar, but he's always been a liar and a guy that says the right thing in the moment. He just said some bullshit, but he didn't want to go. Like, I don't know the relationship between Sting and Kevin Nash, so I don't know that they're really friends at all or anything like that. But I do believe that if they really were friends, he simply would have went and wouldn't have been an issue. So,
I mean, like,
Kevin
listen,
Nash.
the best way to put it, right?
The fuck?
I think the the best contrast you can make for it is like, you got a guy like Kevin Nash who didn't want to go and claims that it has something to do with his association with WWE. Mind you, old girl who is booked for WrestleMania is in Boston with her iPad going crazy for her girl.
Yeah.
Both of them, all three of them, Tamina, Bailey, Naomi.
The third one? I didn't know.
Yes, Tamina's there.
Was. Okay.
Yeah.
All contracted wrestlers on television.
How Tamina still is a.
But you know what made me laugh is Kevin Nash goes, I don't want to go, and then I'm in the crowd, and then they make a graphic that says Kevin Nash is all elite. You big, slow, stupid motherfucker.
Big dumb.
You actually
took some brain
think
matter and put it into his knee.
You really think, you big fucking dumb bitch, that they want Kevin Nash, that this audience, that me, the AEW fan, wants to see Kevin stinking ass Nash in 2024? You fucking stunk in 1999. I don't want to see you in 2024. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I remember what we did to Robbie McAllister in TNA.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't even believe the audacity of this guy. The company that has Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay, and Bryan Danielson wants Kevin Nash.
Vanilla Midgets.
Shut
If you
the
guys-
fuck up.
Vanilla
if you
Midgets. All of them.
If you guys don't know the Laps Fan podcast, I stopped listening a little while ago because it kind of got like
Lapsed?
Laps
Yes,
Fan
Laps Fan.
podcast.
Did you lapsed as a fan of the Labs
Yeah,
fan
Oh, I know what
podcast?
you're doing. Yeah. Well, no, they got into like smelling their own shit and doing like really weird off the wall podcasts. But they were doing something for a while. If you
They
gave
get
them-
paid really good money for it.
Yeah. If you
Man,
gave
fuck
them
them.
if you gave them a specific amount on Patreon, they would do whatever show, indie show, shindy show, backyard wrestling show. So someone actually picked a
In
Kevin
great
Nash
detail.
shoot. Yeah, Kevin Nash shoot from 2000, I think it was 11, and they just broke it down for 3.5 hours and exposed all of his lies and him being lazy. He's like, yeah, Goldberg didn't want to do the job at that show, so we had to come up with, Hall hitting him with the taser because it made him look like he's like, just lay down, bro. Know your fucking place, bro. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, you wanted fucking graham cracker, pretzel stick knees, 47-year-old Kevin Nash to go over the hottest fucking babyface in the company. Just lay
I
down,
think his place is
bro.
on top, bro.
Was
Yeah.
that the ravioli shoot?
No, it was the YouTube shoot. You
Oh, You
or
Shoot.
whatever it was. Yeah,
That's the famous
Sean?
one. That's
Yeah.
the big one.
yeah, dude.
I
They
don't know. The
broke it
ravioli
down.
one's pretty big.
He said
And what's his name? The guy on there. I forget his name.
Sean
He's the
Oliver?
head-
John Oliver.
No,
That's his
no.
new
The guy on the
poster.
Laps fan. He does a really
Oh.
good Kevin
Oh.
Nash impression, and it sounds just like him. So the things that he was saying, you could easily like cut that up and think it was Kevin Nash.
Oh no.
I think Kevin Nash is he's one of those guys. Like Nick is funny. You're funny as hell. Why won't you let him walk through Namek? I want to see him walk through
this is
Namek.
my planet Namek.
Anytime, I don't know who it is, but there's a person walking, and they're perfectly walking through the planet Namek in the background. It's like they're not
Oh,
ruining
fine.
the shot at all.
That's
But,
not my request.
I don't want to be seen on this fucking planet. I understand. It's a little racist, but I get it. Green people are people too.
Plus, it's also kind of storming over.
So in summary, Kevin Nash is a dick, and no one should listen to him.
No,
That's fair.
I was gonna say that in a way I kind of respect his ability to
Commitment
get
to
so
life.
far with doing so little. Like he's a very lazy wrestler, lazy
yeah.
worker, lazy attitude, lazy lifestyle, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
The smartest
respect
thing
the
he ever
fact
did
that-
was attach himself to Scott Hall, who's going to do all the work.
I think that his legacy lives on in Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. They are literally
Well,
the
which
same.
one's the Kevin Nash?
There are two Kevin Nash. They're both baby Kevin Nashes. They're both absolute fucking
Gallows is
shit.
close to his height.
The only thing too about Anderson is that he's like a much better wrestler than Kevin Nash was, but he
Right.
doesn't give a fuck. He's just trying here to make money. I don't
But is
care
he a
about
better
that shit.
wrestler than Scott Hall was?
No, but like what era of Scott Hall? Because
I want to say like mid
New
to
England
late 90s.
Championship Wrestling,
Okay.
Scott Hall.
Diamond stuff.
Like-
oh no,
like prime Razor going into early Scott Hall before he stopped.
yeah,
caring.
he's not. I don't think they're not touching him, but their attitude and the way they approach wrestling is very, very Kevin Nash NWO style. Like I don't give a fuck if I'm on TV or not. Did the check clear? Yes.
Well, I mean, they were in an NWO group for the past like.
It's and they ended up being the fucking perfect archetype for it. But you know what? It's fine. They're in the WWE doing nothing now, and they're happy about it. So let
You
it
know when
exist.
you tell a story and the story's not very good, and you have to pump
Yes.
it up and kind of like embellish it a little bit, and then
You mean the show
tell-
for most of the 2010s?
and then over time you keep telling that same story and convince yourself that's the way that it happened. That's exactly what Kevin Nash does in all of those things. He's like, yeah, we were backstage and Sean said this and Sean said that. And then you go back and you listen to a story, the same story, and he just added all that shit. But it gets to the point where a pathological liar actually believes their lies, and that's what Kevin Nash does. He's like, oh, I threatened Goldberg. I told him that I was going to beat his ass if he didn't lay down. It's like, no, motherfucker, you didn't, because Bill Goldberg would have kicked the shit out of you. Well, maybe
Let's go
not.
Chris
I mean,
Jericho.
Jericho was able to beat up Goldberg, so
I don't think
know.
he beat him up, but
he put him in a front face lock and
Yeah.
wouldn't let him go.
Countered him.
Yeah.
But face lock is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
he's ready.
People
he's
like,
ready
oh,
he's ready to use that same move on Lesnar.
Yeah.
Jericho's
He was.
Oh man, Jericho's like, oh, he's so brave, he's so courageous, he doesn't care, he'll stand right up to. It's like, no, he's stupid. He's just a stupid man.
Stupid and lucky.
Yeah.
I respect it. I also would stand up to the fucking hurricane if it called me the wrong word. Fucking.
But I mean, to some degree, if you want to survive in that locker room and Brock Lesnar does something, like you kind of have to.
Right?
Yeah.
I always respected it. I think
Especially,
that Jericho being the one guy in pro wrestling to stand up to both Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar is a fuck.
Right.
That's about as
Such
crazy
bad
as
maneuver.
that's like the shoot version of winning the WWF and WCW title in the same night. Like I'm the only guy in pro wrestling to stand up to Bill Goldberg and Brock fucking Lesnar.
But what a huge deal is you know who also respects it? Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fuck
Vince
you,
McMahon will
Vince.
take a backstage altercation and fucking ruin your career with it.
I mean, he'll take you can't let Vince get a hold of any vulnerability that you have in your life.
You cannot.
Whether it be something of the most personal or something just fun. Like if you fucking slip and fall in front of Vince by accident, you're gonna be the slip and fall gimmick
That's
guy.
your gimmick.
I love it. Do that.
He's gonna puke.
I wouldn't stop laughing, especially the way you broke your arm.
Vince preying on people's weaknesses.
Oh fuck! No!
Hey, John.
Oh, you took it to the darkest place.
God damn it! I have to avoid Vince references.
All
Hey, John,
right, let's
can I-
talk about
can I-
Bruno.
Can I
We
Can I
don't
try-
talk about Bruno.
can I try my hand at a
Thank you guys for
transition?
doing that, by the way.
Go for it.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Chris Jericho
Get this outta
maybe
here.
being not just smart and being dumb, Kevin Kelly recently got fired from AEW for being dumb.
Good job, Mac.
That'll
Thank
I
you, buddy.
like that. That was great.
Being
I
not
wanna go to
smart
bed.
and or dumb.
Kevin Kelly fired from AEW because he's a fucking moron. And I say that, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that like a, you know, I'm not talking about his
Not the legal reasons for it.
maybe his beliefs or what he thinks. I simply mean in the way he handled this situation, an absolute fucking idiot. First of all, there were tweets back and forth with fucking, you know, the same bad faith criticism that you see because it's a regurgitated opinion. Like this isn't an original opinion. It's this idea that the AEW commentary isn't telling stories. And I am like, that's objectively wrong. Excalibur talks way too much. He's always telling the fucking story. What are you talking about?
He may
So-
be telling the wrong stories, and he may be spending too much time using foreign names for moves, but he is trying.
Yeah.
They're
Speaking very
all
fast.
they use their commentary and they do the thing where they sometimes have to tell the story on commentary because they didn't do it well with vignettes and shit. I've seen it happen. Like it happened. So Kevin Kelly comes out and he responds to the fan and he says, "Well, I was trying to do this, but my complaints fall on deaf ears. And ever since Ian libeled me, you know, he basically implied that he hasn't had the same influence." This stems from Ian Rigabani talking about Kevin Kelly in a Discord where a fan kind of asked him, like, did you see Kevin Kelly sharing the Sound of Freedom stuff on social media? And Ian basically goes, yeah, you know, if I had known he was one of those kind of guys, I don't know if I would have recommended him for this job, you know? So it was a little, that was the gist of it. There was a little more there. It was, I can see how Kevin Kelly was insulted. I think that Sound of Freedom thing really acts as a red flag for some people, and once they find out that you supported it, they will not let go of that. And I think sometimes, like, you know, sometimes you might be right, but sometimes it's not always the case. Like my mother watched that fucking movie on Amazon Prime, and I know for a fact she doesn't believe in any of the Q crazy conspiracies because we've watched documentaries about it together and we've laughed at it.
Even better, is she even aware that they are connected?
I don't even think she knows what it is. Like, I don't even think she knows what they are. She just watched a movie about like, she's like, sex trafficking is bad, and I was like, you're right, Mom. Like, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, well, Mom, sex trafficking is bad, but let's talk about the people who made this movie. Like, that's pedantic. Why am I gonna do that? So I'm not gonna harp on Kevin Kelly because of that. That's not what I'm here to do. I think he's a fucking idiot because of this particular situation right here, where a fan asks him about some shit that goes on in the show, and he takes the opportunity to respond to a fan to complain about his job on television. My man, you fucking dumb piece of shit. You are like 50 years old. You are the age of the people who would tell me not to fucking do something that stupid. How could you have made this mistake with so much experience in your life as a living human being?
Kevin Kelly out here validating all the bullying he got from The Rock.
You can't even say like, oh, well, maybe he's old and he doesn't understand how to use the internet. So, like, no, get the fuck out of here. There's a basic idea of sharing too much information, no matter where you are. And that was fucking dumb. And not only did he do that, he basically shits on Ian Riccaboni, who got him the job. Like, you're not only shitting on the guy who got you the job, publicly talked about it. So now we all know this is the guy who got you the job. So now you look like an asshole who's shitting on the guy who got you the job. He's also known collectively as one of the nicest people in pro wrestling. You are fucking picking a fight with Ian Riccaboni. Like, you've got so many strikes against you at the same time. Like, there's no way that you thought this was okay. He's either an absolute fucking moron, or he wanted to go out. He sabotaged himself like this. But
they also giving up a somewhat cozy New Japan job that he was in no danger of losing.
And he sucked to come to AEW and suck. Brother, man, you mean to tell me you left New Japan Pro Wrestling to come to AEW and didn't even bother to watch an episode of Dynamite before you sat in that chair? Because that's how it came across. It came across like Kevin Kelly had no idea what the fuck is going on this show. Who the fuck wrestles on this show? He's getting these fucking names, like names that we see every single week. Andrade, Takeshita. It's like, if you're messing up names like that, then you don't watch this product.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Kevin Kelly not knowing how to use the internet is a dumb thought. He used to work in the WWF.com department. Thank you, David. It's ridiculous that he got to this situation. So that's what I mean when I say Kevin Kelly is a stupid, dumb motherfucker. This was the stupidest shit. I think he not only still calls it the net, I think before he gets on the internet, he looks around for his AOL disc. Where's my connection?
Discs do we need in here, Tony?
Where's the run man
on the internet?
I'm gonna download a picture of Sunny today. I'm gonna start it now in the morning, and I might have it by the afternoon. No, man.
Explorer joke.
I'm gonna be on the internet.
I don't even. Not only was the situation stupid, he actually wasn't good at the job. So it's like, it sucks because you're like, Kevin Kelly's not good at commentary. Well, no, that's not what I said. Kevin Kelly's actually pretty good at commentary. If you can watch his New Japan work, where he knew who the wrestlers were, what their stories were, he actually did his due diligence. He was a good commentary person. I think he came over here with a bit of a blasé attitude, thinking he knew better than everybody, and he got shown reality very fast. And I don't know if he was making an effort to improve, but eventually I thought he was getting better by the end, but I don't think he was getting better as fast as the company wanted him to, because they replaced him with Tony Schiavone at a certain point. And Kevin Kelly just wasn't on Collision anymore. So yeah, I think he was fucking dumb for getting himself fired in this way if he wasn't just committing straight up sabotage. But I expect to see him with a Grifter podcast complaining about AEW within the next 4 months. He'll be out there. The Kevin Kelly Tells the Truth podcast. And let me tell you, it was a lot of mess backstage, and there is always problems. I think I promise you, I can see it now. There's always drama back there. Let me tell you, guys always telling me they want to jump. Yeah. Just wait. But did you guys have anything you wanted to say about this Kevin Kelly situation?
I just think it's a shame because like I've always felt Kevin Kelly was for lack of a better term, a very good hand. Like he knows how to do his job. I felt like his work on even on AEW was mostly crisp and if nothing else easily forgettable, which is a fine thing for a commentary person to be for me.
Is it bad that I just never cared about Kevin Kelly?
And that's fine too.
Like
That's fine.
WWF, it was just like, oh, he's just bland. His New Japan work, he definitely did due diligence, but I don't know. There's nothing really about his commentary that really like drew me in. And then AEW was just.
So I would argue New Japan has never had like a standout American comedy.
Don Callis?
Don Callis was great. I love Don's work as a commentary. Don is a great commentator all the way through. But the Kevin Kelly thing, again, it's not that he was a bad commentator. It's that the guy, you how the fuck, like, it's like me doing this podcast and I don't know shit about wrestling. Like, I don't know what happened this week. I have a vague awareness. I didn't read the reports, but I saw a bunch of headlines. Let's talk about it.
You know what's Kevin Kelly got all those New Japan names right, but when Takeshita came over here, he didn't know how to say his fucking name.
Shit.
Here comes Hiromu Takahashi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, but I can't get fucking Takeshita.
Here comes Don Callis' friend. It was the Andrade one that was a red flag for me. That was the first big red flag for me because I'm like, this is a very well-known name in American
the Idol
television, like in American wrestling television. You either have like Alzheimer's or something, or you don't watch this shit. Because I like. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm sorry. The motherfucker didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was getting into, and then he ended up fucking it before he can actually get the time to make the effort to really prove himself again. So I don't feel bad. I just think it was dumb. That's why I brought that up.
You're always gonna pop me by just going, Kevin Kelly's a dumb motherfucker.
He really is. I hated him in the beginning of the New Japan run because I felt like he used to make up his own stories.
Yeah.
Like he used to be on commentary saying things, and I was like, "Did you clear that? Like, did you clear this with somebody? Like, is this canon?
Yeah.
Like, can I take this seriously?
No,
absolutely not. I made this up on the fly. It's fine. It's cool. He's gone now.
Cool.
He can't hurt me.
He can't hurt you anymore.
He had one great AEW performance, and that was before before he worked for the company. It was the first Forbidden Door. He gelled so well with I want to say it was Taz and Excalibur.
Okay.
And they were so good together. And I guess he had the advantage of being being guided by the guys for wrestlers that he didn't know, and then having the other half of the card be New Japan dudes who he was there to explain anyway. Okay, there you go. Earlier in the New Japan run, he was getting all his info from Steve Corino.
Yeah.
I figured it was just.
I mean, of course, I didn't know for sure whether or not it was like whether it worked, but it was weird because it was still fresh too. Like I was coming off of years of Japanese commentary, so I'm still like, do you even trust these English commentators? Like, who's in their ear? Like my thing was like, who's in their ear?
Yeah.
Who's telling him this? But like David said, he was getting his info from Steve Corino. It was Steve Corino who he was doing commentary with in Ring of Honor, by the way. They coined the term super kick party.
Yeah. You know what I hated about Kevin Kelly was his Destino call. He kept it through the whole 10.
Oh, John fucking despises the Destino call.
Oh god,
that's like 98% of the reason why I'll always watch Japanese commentary. Sorry. I want to rip my ears out. Anyway, that's us, man. That's Dirt Sheet Radio. We went almost 3 hours, so I apologize.
I'm used to being up this late, so that's all good.
I'm gonna finally take some time to play 2K for real. Now,
Too.
Get it?
yeah, but it's time for those plugs.
Plug
Nick,
it on in.
plug it in my ass.
I'm not gonna do that, but I'll definitely give another shout out to good old Bruno. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, chat, for helping us come up with a new name for our Scully friend. Now, let's talk about, if you want to feel as cool as Sir Bruno right here, make sure you go to monq.com, use promo code DSR10, DSR10 to get 10% off your first purchase of Monk. So that's DSR10. You can get all kinds of different fun flavors. There's happy, there's sexy, for those of you into that. There's Zen, a lot of them are like different flavors. I think happy is like fennel, vanilla, and thyme. So it's yeah.
Fennel.
not that.
No. Fennel. Nothing bad there though. Again, that's monq.com, DSR10. The last time we're gonna get to plug this. And then I'm also gonna be on hey, there we go. Yeah, that's me. I'm going to be on some Halo stuff because we have to talk about Halo. I don't even know if we talked about Halo at all yet. So let's get right into it. I want to be on Ruby of Blue's special Halo 2 Rebalance mod. You're going to catch that on the Halo 2 modding stream end of next month. We're going to cover all kinds of different Halo mods, but you'll hear my voice on a special cutscene in Engine. So that was really fun to do, and I can't wait to be a part of that project. And of course, we haven't talked about it, but the Cold Case Project is back. That's right. Woo! Thank you for popping that up there. Yeah, Cold Case Project, a channel that my brother Tony runs, and it's going to be covering all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. If we go and take a quick peek right now at the videos on Cold Case Project, there is a Illinois Unsolved Mysteries and True Crime Stories. That's about like an hour long. If you want some like shorter content, there's 10 cold cases from 1974. It's about 38 minutes. Again, if you're into true crime, there's all kinds of different content. You can just turn it on, pop it on off the side, listen to it as you do whatever. And yeah, go and check out Cold Case Project. Dolphin, major issues, anyone? We lost John, but we'll be able to still capture anything with the boys.
There he goes.
I got lost in the sauce, which is just I clicked my fucking mouse again.
You were captured. You're going to be featured on Cold Case Project.
Do your thing.
Bruno has become John.
What happened was John doesn't remember where he was for a week because he got caught up in the Secret War, which is what we will be discussing on Major Issues this Thursday. The Secret War is quite the interesting choice of stories about Nick Fury and some of the Marvel superheroes. John has more background with it than I do.
Anyway, it's basically Nick Fury gaslights a bunch of Marvel superheroes into doing terrorism with him. It's honestly,
I don't want to give it all away, but okay.
It's honestly quite based. I would go check that out. It's as funny as it sounds. I would go read that and then catch up with us on tomorrow morning's episode of the Major Issue Show. Me and Greg with our boy George, and I will actually be on Major Issues every single week for the next 4 weeks. This week we are doing Secret War by Brian Michael Bendis, not Secret Wars by Jim Shooter or Jonathan Hickman. I'm talking Secret War, no S. And next week we'll be doing Ultimates issues 1 through 6. After that, we will the week after that we'll be doing Ultimates 7 through 12, and then on my final week in I guess Dershi Radio Week on Major Issues, we will be covering Do a Powerbomb, a pro wrestling comic by Daniel Warren Johnson. It is one of the better pro wrestling comics in a long time. So definitely follow us over at Comic Book Click for more information on Dirt Sheet Radio. And speaking of Comic Book Click, stay tuned for some very, very important information coming from our camps very soon.
The camps. CM Punk was
camps.
involved here.
See you guys in September.
Mac, where can they find you?
Curbside Hero on Instagram. I don't do anything else but work and sleep, and you can find me there. Yeah, that's it.
One last thing. Make sure to follow or to keep up with the Delphin Pod podcasts. Delphin Pod shows are available everywhere podcasts are found. Delphin Pod has a patron. Delphin Pod shows include Revenge of the Sequel, Countdown to Infinity, Countdown to Skywalker. They're doing shows. They just did an Oscar recap show. They cover all things cinema. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Go check out the Delphin Pod shows, of which Dirt Sheet Radio, the flagship, is one of. For sure.
Dirt Sheet Radio.
But that's us, Dirt Sheet Radio, for the week. You can find us streaming every single fucking day of the week. Dirt Sheet Radio is streaming live after Monday Night Raw, after Tuesday Night NXT, after Wednesday Night Dynamite, after Thursday Night Impact, after Friday Night SmackDown, and on Saturday and Sunday after pay-per-views. We are live covering the show.
On the Dynamite recap.
Damn right. Catch Nick on the Dynamite recap. I'm on the Dynamite recap. I take care of the Monday and Tuesdays, so you can catch me popping my head in and out, bothering the guys and making sure they don't get any work done.
That's what I do it.
And
I'm
not on the Thursday and Friday shows, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't check. I'm not even that big of a draw. You should just go fucking watch the show anyway. Shit, that's about it. That's about all I got for you guys this week. Thank you all for joining us. A lot of you in the middle of the fucking night, actually. What the fuck were y'all doing with us?
Go to bed, everyone.
It's probably the most, like, I've been saying this all week, I think, for every show. This is probably the most people who watch us live so far and continuously all the way through.
Yeah.
So
same thing earlier.
Fuck this wrestling. Yeah, wrestling is cool again, I guess, and we're reaping the benefits. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye forever.